Ah, yes. Welcome to another session, another live stream, another podcast here. I am Chaos Rain here. Welcome again. Um, I'd like to thank everybody that is new subscribers to the Chaos Rain Show, and hopefully to new subscribers that will come for today's or future live streams to come. The links to follow me are the following. You can follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. You can also add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. And also, I highly advise people to follow me on Rumble as well. Um, Rumble, as you know, is somewhat picking up a little bit. So at times for more extreme or hard content, I would love everybody to come to Rumble for that type of content as well. And what else I'm trying to remember? Oh, also join the Discord service of the Chaos Rain Show as well. And am I forgetting anything? Let me check. I think I might have got pretty much everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And become a member of the Chaos Rain Show as well. I'm probably going to do another upload for the members only. For the first tier. So become a member to check out any other videos that won't be available for the public, for lack of better terms. And that's good. All right, so we got all set. So now, for those that's watching, I present to you a wonderful lady that wrote a book. Very interesting book, I like to say. I think she'll speak for herself. So I welcome y'all for the first time here on the Chaos Rain Show, the one and only Minnie Alexander. Good evening, Mimi. How are you doing? Okay. Oh wait, speak some. Yeah, it's you went silent for some reason. I can't hear you now. Say something, Mimi. Hello. Say again. Can you hear me, Mimi? Oh, hold on. Let me see what's happening. Oh, he can't. Oh, 1 second. Let me make sure let me check my end. Make sure I'm good. 1 second. Let me do a test. Let me check my phone. Oh, hold on, Mimi. Let me check my phone. Make sure my thing is working. Hello? Can I hear me? Hold on, Mimi. Let me check. Yep. Check my phone. Yeah, my thing's working. Make sure my thing's working. All right, guys. She's gonna come back. For some reason, it did not. It was working earlier, and now it's not working. I don't know what's going on. Make sure you guys hit the like button, share this. Should be going. As she comes back in, let me check my notifications. Make sure everything's good. All right. Let me see what's going on. What the hell's going on? All right. Oh, and if you guys have not known, there are some new shorts on the Chaos Rain Show. I would highly advise for y'all to check them out and give feedback to a few of the shorts. Let's see if it works. Go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
All right, wonderful.
Yes.
Is it the computer or the mic built into computer did that?
Wow. I'm on my phone, so I know sometimes with StreamYard you got to go out and come back in. So it worked.
Okay, you got a good quality phone. I can see everything. It's nice and clear. I can see the background of the black woman with the, I think, gold necklace. I think she has in the background.
Yes, my beautiful bed. You're in my bed with me tonight.
Excuse me.
I'm comfortable here.
Okay, wonderful. All right, Mimi, I say your last name right, Alexander.
Yes.
That's okay. Good. Let's make sure. Welcome here for the first time here on the Chaos Rain Show.
Thank you.
Welcome. Before we step forward, we'd like to take a step back in the past, move onward to the present, and like always, look towards and move ahead to the future. So the first time here on my show, can you tell people a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Minnie Alexander, and I have my own YouTube channel. I've been gone for a while. I think this year I just started back doing live streams. I was gone for almost a whole entire year. I talk about relationships. Specifically, I like talking about relationships between Black men, Black women, Black women. But I talk about a whole bunch of different things. Obviously, I wrote a book called A White Man's Whore. It is on Amazon. Hopefully, we can get into that, and I can explain that a little bit more. I'm just, just out here, just trying to share myself with people and get other people's perspective on things, and just live my life. You
One
there?
second. One second. Give me a second, Mia. I got some line. Give me 1 second. You could talk
yeah.
a bit.
Yeah, go ahead. So, like I said, I'm an author, called A White Man's Whore. I was really nervous about writing this book because I wasn't sure how people would take it. And I get mixed reviews. I get more positive reviews than negative reviews. But I think the hardest thing for this book with me was the title. My mother, when I told my mom I was writing this book and the title, she was kind of like, why do you have to have a title like that? I chose this title because, for one thing, it catches people's attention. And I wanted to catch people's attention so they will ask me about what my book's about. My book is about interracial dating, not just any interracial dating. It's about Black women who date white men, or white men who date black women. And basically, it's kind of education to educate Black women. It's not to sling mud on white men. It's to educate Black women. A lot of Black women, they have no idea what it is to date a non-Black person. They don't know the things that they could possibly face when it comes to the Black community, especially the white community. And they usually only hear the positive stories. So I kind of went on the back end of that and shared some of my stories, some stories of other Black women and them dating white men. Now, the title, A White Man's Whore, I thought about that because not every story, like I said, not every story is positive. I just came out with the raw and the truth, that sometimes when white men pursue Black women, I'm not going to say women of color, I'm going to specifically say Black women, their means are not always pure. And sometimes it takes Black women to talk to other Black women, or a light bulb to go on and be like, oh, that's what this was all about. Now, I'm not saying every single relationship it turns out that way, but let's talk about the ones that do turn that way.
Okay. Well, I like to talk about a lot of things because, as you know, Mimi, I'm not sure I did content specifically on this in regards to how can I say it? Of people giving their own take about the good and bad if in regards to interracial dating. As you know, I'm a man, so I don't interracial date, so I can't speak in regards to how other brothers do it, But for women, I always had to ask the question, to people that have already done it, either successfully or failed in it, Because there is a 50-50 in regards going outside the culture to finding what they call love. So, it's like a flip of the coin. And there are some, if you notice, there's some social media videos out there of, I mean, I can't go in detail, but you see that you might have seen it, right? Because you're more attentive to what's going on in social media wise, because you're out here. I'm not sure you're still dating or you're off the market, but you see what's out here in the environment. But before we go into more the in depth, we're not going too depth. The books, I want people to buy the book. Let's be honest, because the book's been around for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So if they can't buy it, that's it is. A little bit more about your background. Are you American, Caribbean, African, per se?
I'm gonna tell the truth. I did go back and watch some of your videos, and you called me mulatto.
Yes.
I
could be wrong. I could be wrong, but
I'm not mulatto. I'm a Black woman.
Okay, so you're ADOS, most likely.
So you saw both my parents, but my parents are Black. My dad's from Louisiana, so he has some of the French from that area. My mother is Black. She has Native in her, but yeah, I'm from Southern California originally.
Oh, you're American. Okay, okay, all right.
Yes.
And you know, I have to ask because you look very unique. So that's why, you know, I say maybe it's possible. But you know, like I said, if you have fathers from down south Louisiana, and we all know there's a lot of Creole people, Louisiana, and you have mother that's Native American, we all know what certain Native American women look like. Yeah, I could tell the makeup of you. Okay, all right, makes sense, makes sense. So that if you don't know, they know now. You get me? This is the actual American great black woman. You know.
Yes.
The other thing, the generation you fall under, are you 90s or 80s baby per se?
Ooh. I'm 80s baby. I'm not shy about my
Okay.
age. I'm 41 years old.
Oh, you experienced. Okay, you're there. Okay, all right, all right. Wow, that means you when you released this book, you were just roughly, I'm not wrong, maybe turning 40 or almost at the end of 30s when this book
Yes.
was released.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So you actually have real qualification to really be talking about not only relationship but the experience, because you know once you pass in your 30s,
Yeah.
you've seen enough life.
Thank
My take on a lot of things is that you know most people that older they are is more better because it
you.
gives more context for those that's coming up than us. That's gonna be
Yes.
20. That's either dating or something. They have more how I say someone to really fall under to say these are things I done and you might not do this, but be understand this is what you're gonna be facing, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so okay, so those questions are answered. What else? Oh yeah. One thing, in relationships, from your eyes looking in, how you view relationships right now in regards to either black love or interracial relationships now, and now in the present day of the 21st century. First say for the last, let's say 2 years or even present day, how you see it now, how is availing.
Goodness. In the past 2 years, I do see a lot more Black women publicly dating non-Black men. We've been seeing Black men do it for quite a long time, dating non-Black women. I think Black women are just starting to do that. And the Black woman, the Black man relationship. So let me back up a little bit. So where I live in Northern California, and my neighborhood that I live in is 77% white people. So my view on the Black love from what I can see is might be a little bit different. I don't see a lot of Black couples unless I go to Black events. Around me, it's more Black men dating others than Black women. But overall, my opinion is I feel like it could be a lot stronger. There's a lot of things going on in our society that continuously tries to weaken the bond between a Black man and a Black woman.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know?
In regards to stronger, I'm not sure if you want to go in detail. Mean by stronger in relationships, they should be stronger in regards understanding each other, or just in stronger, in general of like how we deal with each other. Besides, let's say going into the bedroom, where that's the question I want to ask.
I mean, I think the bedroom part is kind of taken care of, you know. But I'm talking about just how we treat each other. Like for instance, I had to, I lived in the South for a little bit, and the South's a little different. If you see another Black person, if it's male or female, you say hello. In California, it's a little different. We kind of keep to ourselves. If I don't know
Yeah.
you, I don't say hi to you. So I make it a point specifically to say hello to Black men and to smile at them. So that is something that
Oh.
doesn't really happen between a lot of Black men and Black women if we don't know each other. So just simple things like that can help and strengthen our bond. Because I feel like, again, the different, especially living in the United States, the different things that are here to program us, we have to work against those and actually consciously think, I'm going to be nice to this Black man for number one, because he's a Black man, and number two, all the other things. I don't think we really think about that. I'll speak for as a Black woman. We don't really think about that.
Mm-hmm.
To be sweeter to him because he needs it. If I say hello and smile at a Black man, I think in my head I might be the first smile he's had all day. I might be the first person to say hello to him, a stranger, all day, and it cost me nothing. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have some work to do. You know. I mean, if the marriage rates are decreasing in the black community. We're getting married, if we do even get married at all, later in life. So those numbers right there show a lot.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I look at 30%. What is still tinkering, and I think it's now close to 29 now. If we looked at the numbers properly,
Hmm.
um, we're not really married like that. I think as time progresses, I honestly percentage it'll start to even dip further for either good or bad reasons, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it.
Yeah.
I think black people are people. We have problems. Matter we have more psychological problems before anything else, and usually you can't have psychological problems or what they call baggage and bring it into any relationship. Period.
Yeah.
You get me? Because it carries forward. And
Yeah.
the last thing you want to do is carry forward unresolved traumas, as you could
Hmm.
tell. Usually, you hear the traumas from the women. There are some form of abuse, like touching. And mind you, I use different words, as you know, because for the algorithm's sake, and other things that affects them in regards to interacting with the opposite sex. Men is usually some other things, rather is some in-house, the family, the mother, or they might experience their old traumas with the men.
Hmm.
And when we talk about coming together as a union as one, it's good, but there's some backlash to it, because now all that we come, we feel that with each other, and some we could relate with each other and some we don't, and overall meaning it does not cultivate a healthy family in the long run. You get me?
Yeah.
So I could see that. um
I mean,
yeah.
I totally agree with you, but I think it needs to get to a point where we open our eyes and stop going at each other's throats. And I could talk about the things I think black women, and again, I'm not talking about every black woman, but a lot of observations that I have seen and things how I've had to change myself when it comes to dealing with black men. And a lot of black women and black men were so prideful. They were waiting for the other side to change before we could change. And I really feel like as a black woman, we're very strong people. We all know that. Everybody knows. The whole world knows as a black woman, we are strong. And that strength, we could use it to make these relationships better. We're in our side of the street is not clean. It's not. I was out about a few days ago. I was out, and there was a group of black women. They were sitting to the right of me, and they were having fun or whatever. But the nature of what they were saying, and they were talking about a man. I'm assuming a black man because they all were black. And how they were talking about him and how they were just loud, and I hope that don't trigger some people when I say loud, but it was just over the top. And I was sitting next to a black man, and I turned to him and I said, "Would you date any of those ladies?" And he's like, "No, I wouldn't." I said, "Please explain it to me." He explained everything from how they were talking to each other, the nature of the conversation, how they were looking, and just their whole attitude from when they come in the door. And I think that we don't really we just feel like this is how we are, but this is how we are is one of the reasons why a lot of our men are going to non-black women. Not saying that non-black women
Hmm.
don't have not saying that non-black women don't have attitudes, because I have friends where they've told me that non-black women have keyed their car, have put them, have called the police on them. So they do it too, but I feel like black women need to create a space where and be a little more gentle to black men. Be a little gentle. And then maybe they could turn and be a little more gentle to us. Like I said, both sides of the street's not clean. But when are we going to start looking at ourselves and changing different things? You know?
Mhm. So in regards how you approach it, if you talk to any sister, right, in
Hmm.
regards how to deal with the opposite sex, let's say start with black folks, black men,
Okay.
that doing little small things will open them up a little more in regards to how they not only see but view
Hmm.
overall, to those that have their own doubts, rather, like I said, a trauma, or even go as far as social media, because now most people are now getting their information through social media than anything else, not just television, because we don't watch television anymore. That has been pretty much dead in the water for the last decade. You get me? So
Okay.
since after 2009. And you hear constant all the time, the frustration with the black man
Hmm.
is Women are not smiling. You said this earlier. You as a person, you come and you smile. You do the opposite, just to change the environment, the energy.
I try. Yes.
Yeah, you try. Yeah, and even go as far as other things that if I can remember, other things like excessive, maybe cussing, little small things. Stand out differently, especially if you're going to be out here in this dating market to, and I'm using the word loosely, compete. If you're not taking it off the market in regards to me, because like you said, you have non-black friends. They're no different than the sisters, but here's the thing: they have a more, I guess, more respectful for men, so they know if they want to, they have to carry themselves a certain way, or they're not gonna probably get what they want. Are we clear? Understand?
Well, I think they just pretend better, but okay.
Okay, well, they pretend better. Well, they play the game pretty good because
yes, they do.
Yeah, and I like how you say that they all women got attitude. A lot of dudes said, "Well, I've been around these other women, they don't give attitude." Yeah, because they like you said, they play the game. And let's be honest, if they try and get somebody, they can't be the opposite because it's going to give you a certain disdain, not only hate, but like you don't want to be around something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The face making, the what do you call it, the stink face.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say this, and all these things. You're very repellent. Now, as you know, Mimi, there are some sisters that will smile towards non-black men, Henrique, Indian man, the Chinese man, and the white man. As you know, the book, see, hold the book up nice. The white man is for yeah, because they know, other race men are not gravitating that, so they know what they're doing. But at times, their view of the black man is so much of a disrespect that, and I think as brothers, we accept too long. That's on us. Instead, did the opposite, because if they said black men are the leaders, right? So we did some things a little differently. Maybe it will have to make them change their direction approach towards us, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree or disagree with that.
So, I honestly like this conversation where it's going. So please don't try to hold back any of your opinions when it comes to me, even if we don't agree. But I don't know if black men could make black women act different. I don't think so. I think it has to be a realization, and for us to actually listen and listen to what black men are saying, because like they are saying the same thing. They're saying the same thing about us. I don't think there's anything they can do to really change us except keep on talking, and we listen, and we actually make these changes, and they allow us to we use the word backslide, I guess, or give us a little of leeway. Like even myself as a black woman, I roll my eyes, and I don't even realize I roll my eyes. I still do things. That's just a part of me. So if someone wants to be in my space, a man, he have to realize those things. Just let me do it. But on the other hand, I know if there's a situation I need to talk to him about, I choose the right time. I don't just pop off at the mouth. I try to use kind words. I try to not elevate my voice. I try to say what I have to say and not keep on going on and on. That takes practice, and that actually takes a thought process. So I don't know if you guys can change us. Like, I don't know. Well, how would you do it? How would you do that?
Well, I listen on to what the women said, that things they don't like about black men, saying either be responsible, be more direct in our intentions. Hell, some even complaints say, make more money. These little things, right?
It's not gonna work.
And I'm
money, yeah.
That would help, but like you said, Mimi, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work because one thing is evident: they're gonna always constantly move the goalposts. And this is what I'm starting to learn now, that the goalpost is is another escapism, is another way to really lead black men into I like to call it the burning house, but we're trying to get out of the house. And personally, I hear them, but overall, if I'm seeing the action, I'm saying you're lying. I mean, if you look at it now, if we're looking at the data statistics, and I like to use this I'm not a statistics person, I like reference to the channel, but we can go to tonight. In regards to said, there's a lot of download black men, right? We all know from every city, all black men are on a download.
Yeah.
But you hear this constant narrative for the last 30 or more years. You hear another thing. There's a lot of black men in prison, right?
Okay.
But from what the data's showing right now, and if y'all want to look up, y'all can look up, or I'll locate y'all a content that's revealing this. Actually, the black male incarcerated is steadily declining in every decade.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that reverse, we see a lot of women, black women, is slowly creeping up. So we had to think, saying, okay, the brothers that's getting the act together, either by choice or whatever, they're doing what they can. But when we look at the upside, there's not enough sisters doing what they should do to make the little simple change. That's simple, just to get, if they say they want this, then you must do this. This is the outcome you have to do. It's not guaranteed by doing this, including us men. We do this, we guarantee a real outcome. It gives us in a good position, but there's no guarantee of anything. You do what's necessary, so you put yourself in the right position. So in return, you might get the outcome you well deserve. If you remember Mimi, when Kevin was alive, and he's been gone now for over a year now, I think out of all male content creators, he's the only one that has successfully really created a conversation that a lot of people don't want to have.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the few things that we hear the issue is that it's said that black women are too fat, that weight problem, right? I mean, if you look at yourself, you're actually at the average weight from what I'm seeing. You're not a big woman, so you actually test and prove that you can't sin about that, right? Now they could say, what about in regards to face looks? I look at it as this: as long as you're not too fat and you keep yourself in the same way, you're good enough. You get me? Okay. That's just me. Can't speak for other men. Some of men want more and seek and need more. So personally, like I said, the weight is the biggest issue. The other thing, like I said, how they approach, or the face. And the last thing I think is the attitude. There might be some more, but there are a few things that black people could easily correct. It don't take much, but they refuse to, because in their mind, this is what I hear, they're looking for an ultimate guarantee. If I do this, I need this. And men have been telling this, there's no guarantee. But you do this for your betterment, so it makes you put you in a proper position. That's it. So I'm not sure if anything you want to dispute or anything in regards to what I said.
Well, I mean, for myself, I would, and this is just from my experience, even having a very to changing attitudes and doing all those things and being more nurturing and all those things, some black men, believe it or not, are conditioned not to accept that. So I'll give you an example. I was dating somebody, and there was something, I forgot what, something that happened that I needed to bring to his attention. I waited for the proper time. I sat on it, and I was like, okay, I went in my mind, how I'm going to tell him this, what words am I going to use to not turn this into an argument, And so I remember I did a really good job of doing that. But I noticed that the few times that I have brought things to his attention, it wasn't on a regular basis, his reaction was to cop an attitude and get very defensive, as if we were going to actually like really start just like yelling at each other. And I'm like, why does he always do that? So I asked him one time, I said, the women you dated before me, did every conversation turn into an argument? And he said, yeah. I said, do you realize you're conditioned that every time I bring something to you, you automatically in your mind think I'm going to argue with you? And it changed something with he and I. And then he realized when I come to him, we don't have to agree with whatever I'm saying. He could think I'm totally wrong, but it doesn't have to go into us screaming and disrespecting each other, because that's what he was used to. And I've noticed a lot of black men, that's what they're used to. So unless they, again, recognize that, if they have a woman or black women who are changing, when are they going to recognize that? And it can even go back to their mother, their aunties, their sisters, seeing them yelling and disrespecting and going from 0 to 100 over simple things. That is starting to program in black men that when they see a black woman coming to them and say, hey, we need to talk about something, they're already, okay, I'm ready to battle. I'm ready. And it's not even like that. So do you agree with me that sometimes that black men could be conditioned to not accept that softness because they're not used to it?
I would say black men in the West are accepted to
Mhm.
accept a lot of things from not only the people in their family, but women that they deal with, either as a friendship or sexually,
Mhm.
conditioning. That I think that that's slowly changing from what I'm seeing, not as accelerate as I think it will, but it's slowly changing because one thing is evident as men, and I'm hoping I'm only speaking for myself, so other men, not everybody's gonna like us. But one thing is evident that you will respect us. You get me? I know some dudes looking for love and looking for someone to like them, and that's cool. But that's in a perfect world. The world's not perfect. You see how the environment treats men. If they say they like men and they love men, then men will not be in the streets homeless. They will not fall in certain categories. But we know as if you don't do what's necessary as men in this Western Hemisphere, this capitalist system we're in, you're going to be, you know, be down with the bottom feeders. You're, I mean, that's just nice. I could say it. That is somewhat a conditioning. That slowly is changing with right information.
Mhm.
Um, I think a lot of men have gone through. They don't see what is being not only respectful but softness in their own household. In my opinion, it's
Yeah.
nice to find if there's a mother that respects their sons and give them nurture them properly, but still have tough love, but balanced in a way so it's understandable. You get me? But like I said, if you're a woman that's not that or narrow groomed to that, you're not gonna really do that and exhibit that with not only your own children that are males, but also other men, even other brothers, uncles in your family. You know, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's the best I can answer. And
Um.
before you say, let me acknowledge the chat room because I see some people in the chat room writing things.
Yes.
All that's watching, please guys hit the like button. Likes are free as always. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and share this video. Now, who's in the chat room? Okay, I see Triple X.
Oh, it's quite a bit of people. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, well, it takes a while,
Yeah.
it takes a while. All right, I see D. I see BJ More. Say it again, black girl.
Hey, everybody.
Yep. T Riddler can't save these. They could save anyone that doesn't want. Okay, yeah. At that, I see D Darrell. That's good. My good friend. I see good morning. Good evening, everyone. Miss Walker. D again. And I see Ted Santos. Let me see. Wait, right. Okay, let me read this. If men take a stance for their own self mastery and masculinity, there is nothing women can do. Let them walk if they don't like men. Say no. When men bend, women disrespect. Black men are liberal. Okay. I don't know if you agree with that, Mimi. Let's see. Many of those men were raised by single mothers. They had no father to set an example for manhood. Yeah, we all know that. Who else? We got Coma. I think his name Kuma Hema agreed. Okay. We are almost chill males men in the West. Okay. And Detroit 313 says, wow. And it said, as long she don't start acting a fool, we good. Yep. Yeah, I know. And another one, I thought I just seen the ghost. I'm not sure what you mean by that. And Deidre says hello to you. Yeah. Deidre says. All right. And guys, make sure y'all support the channel, super chat or cash app. I ain't post. I'll post the cash in a second. Isn't it scrolling down? I interrupted what you. If you want to continue what you're saying, I'm sorry. I had to get that way.
So again, I'm sticking to my beliefs that it needs to be self-examination on both sides. So because what also can happen is, and I hear the guy in the chat was saying, like, you gotta, how I interpreted that was like, you gotta be stern. You gotta be, yeah, to come in and be stern with these women, and that's how they're gonna change. No, not really. Especially with 2023, we got women cheating is more than the men are. We have women that are doing some things that we don't only hear than men used to do. So we're not living in that age where you can caveman a woman anymore. That we actually we need something. For myself, it's safety. And I got to define that. Have a safe place, meaning I need to be able to come to my man and be able to talk to him, to communicate things that I need, and know that he got my back. You know, just creating a safe, and also talk about my past. A lot of us, we all have trauma. I want to be able to come to him and say, I do this because this happened, and for him to somewhat understand, and for me to come and absolutely respect him. You know, I think, talking about Black men, I don't think a lot of Black men have ever really had an environment where they were the superhero in their environment. They were respected. So for me and how I view myself, um, I would love to do that. And I have done that, but it was not given back to me. So this is what can happen. So when women, and again, not every single time, but certain women, if they choose a man that's not ready for that, ready for a woman to be submissive, and I hope I don't trigger people with that word, um, and for a woman to give him respect, and for a woman to look at him and look at him as he's my superhero. If he's not ready for that, understand the responsibility in that, he's not going to be able to give her anything back. And what's going to happen is, because it's happened to me before, you know, you give, you keep your mouth closed, you make sure everything is a peaceful environment, but the men weren't giving back to me. So at the end of the day, it's like I feel like all my energy was gone, and for what? So it takes that balance where I'm giving, I'm doing things for this particular person because I want him to feel good about being around me. I want him to feel good about coming home. I want, if he has a rough day, only thing you think about is get home to me, because he'll know that I'll make it better, even if it's just listening to him. But he needs to give me something too. You can't just take. That's a lot of taking, and not give me back something. A safe environment, honesty, all those things. And honesty is a big thing. What I've learned with I love talking to people about relationships. That both sides really don't like to be honest, and a lot of women can't take honesty. So that's another thing I like. I like to have an environment where my man feels safe enough to be honest with me, even if it is disclosing about another woman. That's a hard thing for a lot of women. That's how you that's how you get your windows in your car smashed with a lot of women. But I would like an environment where there's nothing hidden from me. Don't ever let someone come in my face with a secret, because it's not a secret, because I already know it. You know?
Okay. Do you think most men, from your own experience, that they lie in regards to intentions? If, let's say, you and him are, you know, trying to take wherever you are to the next level,
Mm-hmm.
or you feel that it was clear from the beginning, I lack of better terms, you know, direction where things are going. Because,
Okay.
like you said, some men are not clear, and you know they like to lie. So, do you, from your own experience?
See, the keen woman can pick that up. For instance, if you have a man who's telling you he doesn't like titles, okay, and if it's a woman who is actually willing, like ready to be in a committed relationship or ready to be in a relationship, and she's dating someone who says he doesn't like titles, that could be a red flag. Um, you know, a man who says let's take things slow when you've been intimate with him for a whole year. Well, dang, how slow you want it? You know, so is that kind of answering your question?
Anyway, it answers yes. I think some women have an intuition, not a lot, but enough to know, saying if a man's really, you know, you know, stretching along, or what do
Yeah.
you call it, in certain things like relationship.
Mm-hmm.
1 second, guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button and share this as well.
I'm gonna look at the chat. I can't look at the chat while I'm on here.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the chat right now.
Okay. Let's see.
All right. So let me look at the chat room so you can see what's going on. A lot of activity. Some people wrote some questions, but first, let me give the first person that donate to the channel. JT Corings with 199 super chat. Hello. My other friend that is a content creator, Black Mind Whor3. I just got in, so I'll have to catch up. But did she explain the book title? Yes, Black Mind, and we'll go in some detail, not too much, because like I said, this is a book people should purchase for themselves. You know, you can show the picture of the book so they can see it.
I'll go over like some. I'll talk about a little bit about some of the points there.
Yeah. All right. Who else? One guy slapped his head. Okay, let me see what here. Brute force doesn't work on women. Finesse makes them lose respect. That leaves abandonment. You agree with that?
So it says brute force does not work on women.
Doesn't work on women. Finessing makes them lose respect. That leaves abandonment. That's what he wrote.
Not really. I mean, brute force, no. I don't want no man to caveman me or to try to break my self-esteem down so I won't leave, because that's something that men do also, but not all men, some men. And finesse, I mean, it depends. I like for a man to treat me like a woman, meaning bring me flowers, opening the door, and you know, if he's thinking about me, saying, tell me you're thinking about me. You know, I like that type of stuff. So some men call those men simps. I don't. I like that. If you give that to me, you're going to get a lot from me. You know?
So for all the guys that simping, like, simp, you know, it will work. It will warm Mimi's heart. You know, simp a little bit, not too much. Give her enough, you know. You see, one thing, I know a lot of dudes don't like the simps, but I say it depends. You know, if there's some of you rock with and she's giving certain energy, it wouldn't hurt once in a while. You get me? You got to give the lady some. Can't be hardcore. Can't be macho all the time. You know.
No. Or if it says, hey, honey, it's a Saturday. We're not doing nothing. Let's go and get go get a pedicure. If he don't want to get it, just take me. I like stuff like that. But again, I understand that, again, in 2023, men need to be careful, because we're in an environment where women are money hungry. And if you do that to the wrong woman and she's not grateful, then yeah, she'll use you. So that's something the man has to kind of weigh too. Is this woman grateful that I'm doing this for her? And me doing this, how is she making me feel? Outside of buying her stuff or taking her somewhere, does she make me feel good? If she makes me feel good, then I want to make her feel good. And if it's with buying her stuff or doing something financial for her, then I think that's perfectly okay, because she's making him feel good and creating that space for him.
And one thing with that space, and I see Deidre wrote a super chat. Thank you. 499 super chat by Deidre. For a space, in regards to the household, do you think not feel, but think that if the women, let's say sisters, make the environment just comfortable enough, you think a lot of men will more feel comfortable coming home from either a long day of work or just in general, so they don't have to go out there in the environment?
Yeah, and every man is different. That's what I've learned. Every man, a woman has to learn what is that? What is that? You know. So I think that if think of a place that you like to go. If it's enjoyable, yeah, you would want to go there. You know, you'd want to go there. So if it's home, yeah, you would want to go home. And again, that's something where women need to figure out whatever their man needs and do that. You know, like for instance, a kind of universal for every man. If something happens where it's a talk needs to happen, and it's not an ASAP thing, don't just, when he comes to the door, don't just hit him with it. Let him come in. Let him get relaxed. Maybe get some food. Maybe take a shower. Maybe sit on the sofa. Choose the perfect time. It might just wait till the weekend. And then, again, make that environment. Choose what you're going to say and say it. And if he knows his woman, if she's that type of woman, he knows she's not trying to argue. She's just trying to share some information. So, if you don't mind, tomorrow night on my channel, I'm actually having a discussion. And the title is, How Can Black Women Help Improve the Relationship with Black Men? And I've had a lot of feedback over the past week with Black men answering that question. I haven't had really I don't think I had any Black women answer that question. I've had all Black men answer that question. So it's gonna be a fun show tomorrow night at
You
7
know,
o'clock.
you could do me a favor.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm subscribed to your channel because I did
Mhm.
follow some social medias. I double check.
Mhm.
If you don't mind, at the end of this, you could put in the back check or email me all your social media links.
Okay.
I will put them in the description.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I know, like you said, you just now start doing the live streams again. My
Yeah.
question, reason why you took a break from doing certain content, or is it on YouTube you don't do content? I know you do content on TikTok and some other outlets. Is there a reason why you took a long break?
I like doing this out of enjoyment. So it got to the point where I'm like, I'm not really enjoying this anymore. So I took a break. And so now I'm back and I'm like, okay, I took a little break. I'm rejuvenated. I'm ready again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever got any serious pushback from the sisters in regards of your views on relationships and the content or even the book itself?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay. Oh, that's a first. Okay.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
they gonna start attacking me? Please don't
No,
have
no,
any
no, no,
House Black women
no,
start
no, no,
attacking me.
no, because you gotta think about Mimi. When a person writes a book and is phrase titled to be someone's whore,
Uh-huh.
eh, they're saying what? So you're saying I'm a slave, sex slave? Because remember, our people don't read books like that. You get me? The cover itself is supposed to be catching to entice you to say what you mean. You get me?
Yeah.
And I like the title you put it because when I think about it, it caught my attention. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't get the book, but I skimmed through the table of context or some way
Mm-hmm.
to what it's about. And even some of the content you put out on your YouTube channel and probably on other social media platforms. And like I said, I could not really give a real definite conclusion about you because what I'm seeing, what you write in the book and what you put out,
Mm-hmm.
it seemed you're more open and you're not like I'm doing this just to point fingers and attack black men and say I got this man, ha 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 ha, and I say do better. No, I just don't get that vibe
No,
personally.
no.
So I say how you did it was very ingenious, in my opinion.
Well, thank you.
I mean, cause think about it. The first time I heard about you is someone did some content and they took either a short clip of you talking about the book briefly, and that's what got me looking. Said, wait, interesting. Who wrote a book like this? What is one about? So I just did a little investigation, not much, and I said, something's not right about this. So that's why I kind of reach out to get more understanding, you know. And I
Yeah.
don't think I'm the only male that has interviewed about this book. Am I right? I don't think I'm the
No,
only male.
no, you're not.
Yeah. So at times, the people that took the offer to bring on to explain more about this, what they see of Mimi is what they get, and they're going to get more out of the deal. You get me?
Yeah.
And let's be honest. In regards, another question is, in regards to femininity, do you think femininity, and this is not just for black women, but in general, do you think it's really on a constant attack right now as we seek in the 21st century?
Attacked by who?
Like from other systematic things, like certain women will talk about feminism and all stuff and say a woman's role. You know, that's what I mean by femininity. Like the other side. A lot of women that say that are feminists or it's more of like I'm competition to a man. I'm better, or that
Hmm.
type of thing. That's my
So,
more clear question.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know how to answer that, but what comes to my mind is so I was raised by a Southern woman. My mom is almost 80 years old, so I wasn't raised by a really young woman, and she always I've heard her say this 100+ times that the liberation movement for women set us back. And I heard her say that for so many years. I never asked her why, but she would say that when I was younger. And I think when I got older, she finally explained that to me. Like, why are you saying that, mom? The liberation movement pushed us back. And she was like, my mom basically told me, women were fighting so hard to be equal as men. And now look how we're being treated. But we fought for this. The days um, of men really taking, and I know things are expensive, but actually having that mindset from a boy to a teen to a man, I'm a quarter lady. We're gonna have kids. I'm gonna pay the bills. She's able to stay home, make sure the house is okay, make sure the children need anything while I'm at work. she's at home, she can go and tend to the kids. Those days are over. Even opening doors and simple things like that, those are gone. We fought, I'm not going to say we because I didn't, but women fought so hard to be equal. Now we're equal. Now we're like, oh, why aren't you treating us like we're women? Well, hell. So I understand my mom said that now. But again, I was raised by a whole nother generation. I like being treated like that. I like being treated like a woman. I don't want to be treated like a man.
Okay. Well, like I said, if you have an old school mother that knew how things were before the change, I mean, you will have a more appreciation now as a woman like yourself. I
Yeah.
think a lot nowadays, depending on what type of mother they have, they're not gonna really understand the real softness of how women should move in this environment. I think a lot of parents, whether two parents or one, have failed their children in regards how to properly move in any environment, whether current or potential prediction of the future of the environment. I think people say, you gotta do this, stay away from this, not giving clarity why. And if they've been clear as the why and the answer, it sounds good, but it that's not logical. You get me? Let's say if you have parents to say, just put your head in the books, stay away from boys. What outcome is going to happen? You're going to be operating like a man. You get me? In lack of better terms, Not saying women should focus on men, but at times, you could walk and chew gum.
It's a balance.
It should be as a balance. You had a balance. And
Yeah.
I think what a lot of parents today, whether it's one parent or two, they lost the value of balancing your approach of really raising your children, your sons and daughters, so they be the future men and women of tomorrow properly. You get me?
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong with people dating and then doing what they have to do, but it's all and have an understanding of intentions, And I think a lot of parents have failed at to the point they create the problems that they see today, especially when it comes to women that are in school, and a lot of them don't prioritize, like say, seeking a man or even looking for marriage. They wait till after years, like mid-30s, maybe early 30s, mid-30s, most likely, or late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, from you hear from the men's point of view about saying the older, it's not always the better for women per se, for a reason, but it lets you know that if a woman is seeking the outcome, like I said, they say they want a man, like a husband or something like that. They always think about saying, let me get all this, then maybe the man will come. Yeah, but it's possible not everyone's going to get that, depending on what how you look and how you carry yourself. You get me? If you carry yourself a certain way, if you wait too long, the men you're looking for are either going to be two things, Mimi. Either going to be married, or they go to another environment outside the country, most likely, to seek what they're looking for, So that's in the short. Let me see. Some other people wrote some things in the comment section. Let me go through it. One guy wrote some. Can a man take you to the cheese factory for dinner, Mimi? Oh, the cheese factory.
He's not from. Yes, you can take me to the Cheesecake Factory. I'm absolutely okay with that. Shoot, give me some cheesecake. And, yeah. That's funny. Have you seen that clip of that lady?
I mean, I see. I was tempted to play it for you, and we could probably look at it, and you could probably explain because, like I said, your book is a focus.
I'm just like, oh.
And maybe from a woman's perspective, you could probably say what's wrong. Matter of fact, let me go through the rest of the comments. I'm gonna see if I can find that tape because since this is a good teaching lesson, because like I said, the book emphasizes on certain things about women's options, like you said earlier, and this is a learning lesson because I think that woman, what she did was a bad look.
Horrible. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Again, being a Black woman, it's like she made us look horrible. And but the guy.
And me,
I was like, dang. He was.
Mimi, stop for a second. Can you jump back out and jump back in because you're freezing right now? I'm not sure if it's the phone or something.
I am.
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay. Jump out and jump back in and see if it corrects the freezing.
All right.
All right, guys. As she fixed that, make sure you like the stream, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe. As you know, the chat room is open. But I will love it while it's open. You subscribe to the Chaos Rain channel. And also, if you don't mind, become a member of the Chaos Rain Show. I didn't put the links for that because, as you know, I'm having the conversation. I will do it eventually. So be patient with me, guys. Be patient with me. All right. Let me see if she got her thing ready. I'm waiting. All right. Let's see if it's working now.
Better?
It's the screen's black. Let me see why the screen black. Hold on. Why is screen black? It's black right now. I see you in the background in the studio, but I brought you up and the screen is completely black. I don't know why it's black. Okay. Say something. Let me see if it's correct. All right. It's a little better. I can hear you. I'm not sure. Maybe the internet's probably slow now, but yeah, I can hear you.
Let me see. I'm going to do this. Is that better?
Let me see. Say something.
All
right. Now it's speeding. I can see now. All right. Now your frames is catching up. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's like it's slowing a little bit. All right. All right. Let me keep reading the comment section. Who else? That's not surprising by D. And I have Melanie Vessel. She writes, it's a total split though, because Black women don't generally have the same circumstance as other women in America. Okay. And if you agree with that, Mimi. Okay.
Yeah, we're different. We're different.
Mm-hmm. Me too. She writes nothing less. And what she write? But that's only if they don't predict effectively of things to come. What else? One guy wrote to Melanie Vessel, become what white men want so you can have what he gives his white woman. You agree with that? Become what the white man wants and he'll give you.
I hear it.
Okay. All right. And my guy says this is a conversational rambling. I'm not sure you got to understand that, brother. Melanie Vessel, I do get it. You must change to get the results you want. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. You have to change. Yeah, you have to change. Yeah. Let me see if I have this videotape. Before we go into videotape, you're aware of Kaylin and the other white linebacker. I think he's wide receiver. Kaylin and Kylie Nicole. Travis.
I
think. From your look at, can you know that Kaylin did a video about Black girls and Black women? I don't know if you heard about it or saw it.
I did not.
Okay, let me run that one because she was getting a lot of pushback. I guess I don't know if it's bullying because Travis Kelce, I think, is in a relationship with Taylor Swift, and a lot of people were at her in her social media. And there were some women that were mad at Travis because they said, "Oh, you downgrade to this woman." Like they were like jealous in a way. And I'm looking at it, well, this guy is a Caucasian man. So he is within his tribe and he's dating someone that's, I guess, has more status. I don't want to say that. So, and this is my thing, Mimi. I covered this a year ago, 2 years ago, when she talked about her frustration in their relationship. I look at why you
$100 on her something.
Yeah. My thing is this. Okay. If you're in a relationship with, let's say, another man of another group like him, right? Why will you post it if this is true or not? Which, and I would say it's true because, you know, you tell yourself. Why will you say the time that you and him been in a relationship for almost half a decade, he did not invest in you in regards that sees you more than just a plaything? $100, and this man's a millionaire, and she just now is a millionaire.
For real,
that don't make no sense. And I said to ladies, listen, I know that certain Black men that either you like or don't like, and then you move on and try to find other groups of men. But this behavior, if your standards are not the same like every other group of men, don't expect going to the other side and lower your standards and then hope these men are going to give you the world. Like literally. Now, mind you, Mimi, if a Black man did this and he's a millionaire and she's such a millionaire and all he'd invested for, it will not even last 5 years, no matter if he's good in the bed. Matter of fact, I give that maybe a year. And after that, she's probably move on to the next person. But for this man, you gave 5 years, and she was in her mid-20s, Mimi. So you wasted the rest of your 20s to a man that did not really take you and him into a more serious relationship. and he only invested this amount of money. Now, some people said Travis doubled down and said, "Well, I spent more than 100." But I look at this person. I look at this man and say, "No, you did not." Because if you did throw in what you did, matter of fact, it would not be gone. You and her should have been married after the second and maybe going on to the third. There should be somewhere that this is your woman and you're going to say, I'm going to tie a knot. That didn't happen. She allowed you to waste her time. She accepted. So really, at the end of the day, this video, which I'm going to show you right now, and you're going to get more clear context. Let me pull up now. Because I find this to be pathetic. Let's see. Which one is it? All right, I think this is the one. Let's check.
Hey guys, Kayla here. It's always been really important for me to use my platform not to create division, but to elevate and unite.
Now, mind you, this was after she got too much hit ups on her social media. She did this video in response. Listen carefully.
Unite women, Black women specifically. So I prepared a letter and would like to share it with you today. Dear Black girl, they may call you a traitor for falling in love. You'll hope the ones closest will protect you, but you will quickly find out that people don't protect what they don't value. They'll say you're too much, too provocative, too boisterous, too outspoken, and in the same breath tell you that you're not enough, not successful enough, not wholesome enough, maybe not even intelligent enough. They'll say you deserve the backlash and embarrassment. Because of your Blackness, you should have known better. They'll even try to tie your value to your net worth. But Black girl, please remember your value lies elsewhere. Your value is deep within your heart, the way you love, the way you give. Your value is in your resilience, your willingness to forgive, the way you protect what means most to you, even if it hurts you along the way, and the way you stand up for what means most to you, even though they may not ever do the same. But Black girl, respectfully, let me stop you there because you don't have to participate in this tumultuous, often one-sided journey. Preserve your heart. Even when they try to quantify your character and test your boundaries, you do not have to engage. You do not have to respond because there is power in your silence. And you can use that same power to silence the noise and the self-doubt. Silence the voices within that want you to give in to this demoralizing and antiquated narrative.
Now, I'm paused right there. Do you think that in regards to her doing this video so far, it's only halfway, we're almost done to it, that is she frustrated to the point where, you know, this type of encouragement will help other Black women, younger Black women, in regards to, you know, decisions they make, especially when it comes to, let's say, she dated out. That is this a more proper response?
I think
wait, Mimi, you're breaking up. You're breaking up. Hold on, you're breaking up. Hold on.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, say it slowly. All right, you sound clear now. You were breaking up briefly. Yeah, briefly.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was saying that she might have just got her feelings hurt because he upgraded.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really understand where this poem came from. I mean, maybe understand where she's going with this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
You don't know where you think she's going with this. Let's listen more.
Get it? Like, yeah. Go ahead. I don't know.
Yeah. After I listen to this, I'm gonna see if we can crack it in it because it's doing it again. But let me run this so before we do anything.
Tap into that power. Because I know, girl, the rage of the world is loud. But Black girl, your God is louder. And your tribe is stronger. Your blood runs deeper and is filled with strength. And when you finally find the strength to speak your truth, it is your voice that will help heal. Because Black girl, let me tell you, you're not in this alone. And even though sometimes I too ask, Why me? I'm reminded that this isn't just about me. This isn't just my story, a singular experience. My truth, trauma, and vulnerability is a relatable part of the human experience. I know I'm not alone, and I want to make sure that you know you aren't either. On days where I feel most inadequate, I have to remind myself that I am, have been, and will always be more than enough. Look, we love, we hurt, we heal, but always remember that your story is yours to tell. And you never know whose life it may touch because there is so much power in community and connection. So, dear Black girl, when the world gets dark and times get hard, when you feel like your back is against the wall and your hands are tied like nobody knows or understands what it takes to be you, remember that you are a part of something way bigger. This is only a small chapter in your story. And if you need help, there are resources like therapy, prayer, and community to help you make it through. But most importantly, I want you to remember that you are loved, you are valued, you are allowed to take up space, you deserve protection, and your feelings, they matter too. Solely because you're a Black girl. Sincerely, a Black girl.
Okay. Let me drop this down. All right, Mimi. Say something. Let me see if your thing is still buffering. Do a test. If it not, just jump back and check back in.
Yeah, I'm
We're
gonna
get
try to
this.
get closer to my my internet. Is it better now?
It sounds much clearer. Yeah, always check if the bars, if
Okay.
it's Wi-Fi, you want the bars not to be complete, but you want it to be not less than 3. That you want to have at least, if like there's 5 bars, usually you want at least, if anything, 2 bars down. Once it goes to the third, it's going to start distorting on the average. Yeah.
Oh, that's probably, I have 3 bars right now, so I've kind of moved
Okay,
my
it'll
locations.
distort,
Let me
it'll
know if it
distort.
starts messing up.
Yeah, it'll distort a little bit once 3 bars, because you know when it drops more, it's going to buffer badly. So you want it to be at least 4 to complete. If it's 4, you're good.
Okay.
You get me? 3 to 4 is fine.
Okay.
That's how it works. All right. And like I said, guys, I will open up for y'all to have any questions on her in the book shortly. All right. And yeah, and like if I do bring you guys up, watch your language. Because like I said, enough people not donating to this channel. So I would prefer y'all guys watch the language as possible. You get me? If I do open up. Just a side note. Whenever you're ready, you could speak on Mimi. As I'm looking for the comments.
Yeah, so I think she just, I mean, after being with somebody for so long and then having to watch their new girlfriend publicly, it sounds like she's just trying to get into the healing process to make herself feel better. That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, some of the things she says, yeah, black women this, black women that, yeah, you know, we feel like this, feel like that, but where is this coming from? It sounds like she's hurt. Because I mean, dating Taylor Swift, I mean, man, you know, wow, that has to hurt a little bit, especially if they get married, or especially if she hears that he's spending money on Taylor. I'm pretty sure he's spending money on Taylor Swift.
Not like she don't need it, but it makes her feel special, knowing that he invests more in this. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. I mean, yeah.
I look at it as, for every man from different race, they're going to still prioritize their own. I think the issue with our community is we don't prioritize each other enough. So at times, because we live in a society where we're the small percentage, and we are actually been trained under other people's in regards how to speak, move. It's like we are black people dipping white chocolate, in other words, you know, not doing a good job. You get me? So obviously, since we are now, and we've always been integrated for the last, how long? Maybe now approaching 40, I mean, actually 59 years per se, that what has happened to a lot of us is now we, in our mind, we have arrived. We're like these people. So in other words, we are going to do everything possible to move beyond what they call blackness, you know? So if we're around other groups of people that's not our own, we have to code switch, you know? And I think being around each other for too long or whatever, or not long enough, in our opinion, to feel that we're valued is either two things: either we show it by throwing money in like expensive things, or we have someone that's different from different race on our arm. You get me, to show that we are valuable, you know. And I think with Kaylin, because she had this man, she dated this man for a few years. They did not seal the deal. I heard even weird rumors that they said, some people said, so why you didn't get knocked up on? Why you didn't get pregnant? And I look at it and say, pregnant for what? He didn't even really go as far as put a ring on it. And you want her to go be, let's say, a baby mama? I mean, I understand people's thinking nowadays. I don't know if you want to go into that. I mean, it's weird. I hear some dumb stuff, man. People.
Yeah, well, they're just trying to have her, get some money out of him, and at least you got something, just dumb. I mean, I think something came in my head when you were talking, when you were just now talking about how that switch, and I had that in my book where when I was dating non-Black men, specifically white men, where you have to basically, a lot of white men don't feel comfortable in our environment or around our culture. So you have to make a choice, and a lot of times I was choosing to be around their whiteness in their white world because I'm comfortable around that, because that's, with work and with other things, I'm used to that. But I always had this thing inside of me when I have dated non-Black men, is I've always missed Black men, because I've always missed to just be able to hear a song, they understand it, to say a phrase, they get it. I don't always have to explain because we're so much alike. And that's what I really, really missed when I would date non-Black men, which made it really hard for me, really hard. And a lot of Black men and women, when I have talked to them and really get into a deep conversation, an honest conversation, they miss it too.
I mean, at least you're honest. I mean, a lot of women that date out or carry out, they have a certain vitriol, and they're not really admitting that the dudes that they dealing with, let's say, because we're in America, so mostly we dealing with white people, white men and white women, right? And I use Travis for example. If you look at Travis, how he looked when he was dating Kaylin, it's like he is portraying like a Oreo, a white man dipping chocolate, having the beard all out, have earrings and stuff. But when he left that relationship, he cut that off and took the earrings off, which I didn't notice.
They said he looked like a cop. He looks like a cop now.
Does he?
Yeah. That's what they were saying.
You're right. He does look like a cop. You're right about that. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah. It's called codependency. To the architect. My one of my members, what's good, architect? How you doing, sir? Yeah. And there's a lot of people writing that. And and y'all guys wrote a lot of comments. I see you, Kev. What's good, Kev? Black man being brutally honest. And let me go down. Let me see what else. I had to catch up a lot of comments. And this guy wrote, let me write by Trail Bentley. He writes, it feels good to have a spades and bid with partner. Otherwise, you're playing bridge or true. I'm not sure what that is. That's something unique. Yeah. And then next brother writes, Esmond the God. A lot of Black women date non-Black to get back at Black men. Most of us never care because we know that's your disloyalty. One guy finds disloyalty on a few.
So I'm gonna comment on that real quick. So when I did it, it wasn't to get back at Black men, but the younger me, when I was dating specifically white men, in my ignorance, I would bring them to our things. Meaning, if we went to, if there's Black bars, black restaurants, Black clubs, I would bring these white men there with no shame at all. And it wasn't until I got older and started really learning who I am as a Black woman, I wouldn't do that. When I have dated non-Black men, as I've gotten older, I will tell them straight out, I'm not taking you to this place where it's wall-to-wall Black people, because I don't want to disrespect Black men. And they could feel however they want to feel about it.
Interesting.
Maybe that's why I never work with them.
And what was his reaction when you told him that directly?
Well, a lot of white men, so I have 3 different categories of white men. Flavored white men don't care. Flavored white men, they were raised around us. They want to go. They don't. You got to explain nothing to them. But the other white men, they really don't want to go anyway because they're uncomfortable. So by me saying that, they're not going to argue with me. They want to keep their butt at home and us do their white stuff. You know what I love asking. I love being able to get attention of old white men just for a little bit to have a conversation. And I love to ask old white men, have they ever been the only white man in a room full of black men? And not for business, just because. Older white men, most of them have told me no. They have never. So imagine if they're dating a black woman, maybe for the first time, if she takes them to a bar, a club or something, restaurant, they are nervous. They don't want to go.
This is something new. Okay. And this is
it's in my book. Yes.
Okay. All right. Matt, let me run this. I'm not gonna run the whole tape of this woman. I'm just gonna run briefly from your own perspective of the things she did wrong, briefly, and then we're gonna go into the actual book. So let me find the video now. And as I present it, please, guys, you can share the stream and also contribute to the channel. You know, super chats or cash app will be appreciated. Stop. Okay. And where is it? The cheesecake girl. Where is she? I gotta find it here. I hate doing this. Let me cancel this. I gotta find. I just did the download. Okay, I see. Where it's okay. Good. Let me exit this. Found it now. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it a few times. I think it's been blown out of proportion, me personally. But it is a lesson learned. And let's be honest, when we see things on social media, for clarity, right? This could be a skit for all we know. But one thing, how people resonate with a lot of things with these skits, if it's true or not, there's some way of relatability to this when we watch these videos to say, is this really how people would conduct in reality, you know? And they sell it very well. You get me? Especially if you do it on either IG or TikTok. So no further ado, let's check out the Cheesecake Woman.
Let me just get the door for you.
Okay.
Now, listen on. The one things that I don't like, what a lot of women do, and you could probably agree with this. If you're on a date with someone, why is it you have to post it and film it directly on social media where everybody wants to see throughout the whole world? I don't understand that. Personally, I could be wrong. That's one thing, you know? But that's me. Let's listen in.
He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car.
And one thing they said, she locked the door on a man's car, like she want to come out. Now tell me, Mimi, is that really ladylike for women to just lock their car if they're
She's
in a man's
rude.
car?
She's rude.
Yeah, very rude, very rude. All right, let's keep playing.
Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you?
Look.
Are you? I
At the
went
Cheesecake
into this
Factory?
date as I expect, with the expectations for myself to keep you safe, you know, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course, and just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done.
I mean, you've been pretty nice, but I mean,
and then
Cheesecake Factory.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date. I expect her to be respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative, and at least, you know.
What did I do that wasn't cooperative?
Well, I mean, like even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything
He's
like
just trying
that,
to be
or
nice
hold
till
my
he gets
hand.
to the other part.
Say again?
He's just really trying to be nice. I honestly believe this is real. I've seen a lot of fake videos. I do. Well, go ahead.
All right, cool.
respect that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay.
I
yeah,
don't know
and
you.
I can
Yeah.
respect that. I can respect that.
Okay.
When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. We're not
Again,
maybe
I don't
we're not
know
there
yet.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
Okay. Well, you know, this is that was partially half of this video. I'll give you a summary because for those that watched already know, the man told her straight up that he didn't feel respected, so he was calling the whole thing off. And she looked at and she tried to plead to not do so, and he's telling her the reason why he's calling off because how he would felt treated. And let's be honest, with other groups of men, how they don't see black men. One thing is evident, ladies, if you don't know or know now, when you start showing forms of real actual disrespect, that's a big L, is a turnoff. And only thing man is looking forward to, if he's not gonna hit it, he's gonna send you back home or whatever, or kick you out the car, one way or the other. And here's the worst thing about it: she was late for the first
An
dinner
hour.
appointment.
An hour.
An hour.
He
Who
waited
does
in his
that?
car for an hour for her.
Yeah, yeah. That
And you know,
that's
did you see the part where he actually showed her the reservations of the really nice restaurant, but she was
yeah.
so late he had
Yes,
to
I saw that.
translate?
I saw that. I saw that. And she looked dumb. She had that
Yep, real
expression.
dumb.
So for her to sit there plead with the man, say, "Okay, I'll go for it. Yes, it's fine." You know, the man
Too
said
late.
no. Too
Too
late.
late.
Now,
I,
someone wrote in
I
the chat.
applaud him for
Yeah.
that. I applaud him for having boundaries and not bending and say, okay, well, let's just go in and just call, you know, make the best of it. No, he was like, oh no, oh no. And he's nice because some men, like I think I saw a guy in the chat says he just leave her in the parking lot, you know?
Yeah. And the funny thing about it, and a lot of people said, and I heard some people said this, that if you're maybe taking a woman out on a date, you drive her, it's not proper to kick her out the side of the curb and drove off. From what I'm hearing, I don't know if that's true or not. But I'm thinking every person moves differently in regards to how they view they're respected. And if you are very much disrespectful, like how she did in that video, I was surprised because this is a non-black man that he didn't go as far as show in regards, I'm gonna show you. You get me? The only thing that he just let her down softly, respectfully, and said, "I'm just going to send you back home," and that's it.
He has
And
class.
that was alone to really, you know, it just killed her whole vibe. So, oh, because, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with other content creators, especially one that B just put out about Sprinkle Sprinkle. We all know who that is. I'm not going to say her name. But I'm thinking a lot of women that is encouraging women what they should do to other men. I would have to tell them they're gonna have to reevaluate that, because not every woman is going to get away with certain type of men. You can't sit there and say I should be courted, I should be this and that. And I look at her, she looks average, maybe below average, depending, you know, if she's that fat. And it looks like she is big for some reason. And I'm not throwing shades. I'm just keeping real with you that, sweetie, even if you were that woman, not all men is going to really accept that. I'm sorry. Especially if he's investing money. And let's be honest, when you set a reservation dinner, that's money put into things. That's time put into that. You think he's going to go out there and then throw in a lot of money to you on the first date? Like literally?
And I have to say about how she dressed. Like, if you went a little bit further on in the video, her dress is coming so far down, you can literally see the top of her nipple. So you want someone to take you to a classy restaurant, you're not even dressed classy.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
And you have all your chest out, but then you want a man to treat you a certain way. All that is it has to be taken into consideration. All of that, especially on a first date. How do you want him to treat you? Want him to treat you like a streetwalker, or do you want him to treat you like a classy lady? And a man's very visual. He has to look at you, and he can tell from by looking at you how he's going to treat you and how she's treating. And then the camera's all down there looking at her nipples and everything. It's just like, lady, come on now. He should have took you to Taco Bell.
I mean, some of them are worth the McDonald's in the top talk about hell, even coffee. I mean, in regards to spending money, like I don't know what's the average restaurant, maybe $100 or more. If you expect a man to spend, let's say, $400 to $500 on a first night, especially dinner, I mean, I will invest in that if I'm knowing someone for the first time. I don't go all the way out because let's be honest, you heard about this thing maybe of foodie calls or women using men just to get some food, and
I've heard
that's
of that.
and then eventually they go and call Tyrone, call him, and Tyrone just
Yeah.
out. A lot of dudes are catching on now, and this is why a lot of men that either got their stuff in order or not are not throwing a whole lot of money in a lot of these dates.
Well,
Mhm.
I will have to admit that many years ago, when I
Mhm.
had a man ask me to go on a coffee date, I copped an attitude. Not with him, just me and whoever I was talking to on the phone, friends or whatever. And I went, but I had to realize, like you're saying, like I always say, if a man's actively dating, he could be dating 2, 3, 4 women a month. And he has to watch his wallet. So for me, I'm okay with coffee dates. Now, a lot of women aren't, but coffee dates are, and then I look at the benefit. It's all about perspective. Maybe I don't want to sit across the table from this guy for 2, 3 hours at dinner. Maybe just 20-minute coffee and I could bounce because I don't really like you and you don't really like me. I personally have had 3 or 4 coffee dates where they went so well, where the guy was like, "Hey, you want to go to dinner right now?" Or, "Hey, you want to get dressed? Go home, get dressed, and I'll meet you in 2 hours. And now let's spend more time together." I've had that, and so for me, I don't put my nose down on coffee dates. It's all about the person. It's not about how much money he's spending. And if he is a spender, he's going to spend it later once he gets to know me and he knows that something is going to happen and it's a good investment.
Do you think that how we should call certain ways of dating, like for first time, instead of saying dating from your perspective, let's say we'll just we'll go out and like, yeah, I hear the word kick it, and yeah, I heard about this word. Let's say, but other forms
That's an
instead
old
of
word.
date. Yeah. Oh yeah, saying this like to soften the mood, so it opens up a good portion of the men to sit there now to initiate to really go and take, let's say, yourself or any other woman out on an actual date. To let him feel it out, see if
Hmm.
he feels trustworthy, like he feels trusted,
Yeah.
and he feels the mood of you and saying he's vibing, that he'll go and spend the money. You think that'd be
Hmm.
a better approach? That a lot of women should be taking it instead of just, showing like the face or the expression when a dude does confront them and wants to take them to, like I said, coffee or whatever. You think change that approach will be better for a lot of women to have more of a chance of an actual date with a lot of the men out here?
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's silly. Like, you're going to get upset because this man's choosing to spend his money how he wants to spend it. But the whole thing is you guys meeting up, period. You know, like there's been times where I've been asked to go out on a date and it wasn't to a restaurant, it was to meet up. So I knew I had to eat before I go because it doesn't sound like food is going to be involved. And I'm okay with that. Women need to, not saying don't have standards, but they need to be able to, if they really want to date and find somebody of any kind of quality, don't just have this hard list of God what you need to check off, or if it's not checked off, then he has to go. Like, then they really need to reevaluate what are they looking for. If they're looking for someone who's just gonna a rich dude, it's like I don't know. Though, yeah, they just need to reevaluate and be not be so harsh.
That would be a better approach.
Yeah.
Not saying a lot of men are going to still be so leery to spend, like I said, the money on an actual date, like a
Hmm.
food dinner, because like I said, a lot of women do use a lot of men for foodie calls on this crap, right? But a
Hmm.
lot, you give a better chance to really, soften the mood, open things up a little bit, so that way the man or any man will feel comfortable to go ahead and spend that money, and
Hmm.
spend a whole lot of money, but just to go on a nice date, like so you feel a little special,
Hmm.
something more. Probably not the first time of interaction, but like maybe the second time, or who knows, even right there. That's how you play cards in it to for
Hmm.
certain men. Certain men are gonna be, gonna stay as just a simple coffee or McDonald's thing, and some dudes will sit there, just feel you out and say, you know what, this woman, I want to see where it will go. Let me take her on a date and let's see how me will interact in public. You know, because usually when you go out in an actual decent restaurant or whatever, it's shown that, you know, I'm out here with this person to see how me and her interact with in front of other people. You know, and the restaurant is a good place. You know, how you prepare yourself. You know, so, and a lot of women, either they complain they don't get that or whatever. You had to get through first base with a lot of men first, and if you can't get through that, no man's gonna spend no $100-200 or more on a date, actual date with you. It's like the entrance door. And let's be honest, Mimi, doing this way, it kind of removes the ones that are the ones that potentially want to take advantage of free food.
Yeah, it does.
So it's like an elimination process going that route. Because if one was into, they will wouldn't mind, and the one's not, there you go. So actually, it's kind of a good parameter, and a lot of men should set parameters, because at the end of the day, your time is valuable, man. And there are women that will waste time and your money, and you will never get enough in the outcome at the end of it at all.
Yeah. I mean, also women need to be, even if, like, I've been taken to really nice restaurants on first dates.
That's good.
And, you know, the meal that would look very tempting was $70-80 for just my meal. And I asked before I ordered, I'm like, you know, is it okay? Or I'd be like, do something kind of like, okay, what looks good? What do you think I should get? I'll say something like that. And then I'll let the man tell me, oh, get whatever you want. Then when he says that, I was like, okay, well, can I get this that's 80 or 70? And he was like, yeah, go ahead. Then I'm like, okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So women need to still be respectful of someone's money. So he worked hard for that, you know. And also, don't just order a whole bunch of stuff. You know, I had someone take me out recently, and we ordered mimosas. And, you know, I asked the person, I said, hey, can I get another one? Or he actually offered, yeah, go get another one. So I'm like, okay. So versus just ordering a whole bunch. And then also I have a daughter. So I've had men that were nice enough to say, hey, you want to get something extra for your daughter, which is super nice. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'll get something for my daughter to go. So.
Okay. Well, damn. Yeah. You're that type of woman. Okay. Well, you see, this is what I'm talking about, the actual femininity. You get me? You're so graceful as a person, you know, you open up to the few men that are reciprocal, you know? I think a lot of women they lost that art, because that's something it's a learned behavior. It's not bred in you, because someone has to show you. It's like learned behavior. Just like as men, for us to move, we have to see the examples. And how we perceive ourselves or learn how to function in this environment is what we see through television, or we could say social media now, because, you know, we don't got people that we could see in real life as good examples. So we have to imitate what we see on the big screen. Now, the book, The White Man Whor3. I don't know if you want to show. You can, if you want. That's like to show people it right now. If you want, can't show people one more time.
Well,
the book
I had to move somewhere else in my.
Yeah, no. All right. As we wrap up, I want you to get back to the nice area so you could show one more time. But the book itself, the more important parts of the book. What are the emphasis, the key focus that any woman that pick up that they should, you know, take out of it, or one things that you advocate or, you know, advise?
Well, of course, the book is not for everybody, not for every woman. It's made for Black women. And from what I found out after I actually put it out there for people to buy, I've had white men buy it, which shocked me because I never thought that. But it's more for, and again, a lot of men don't understand that a lot of us Black women, when we get behind closed doors and talk to each other, we have conversations about, hey girl, have you ever dated a white dude? Or hey girl, have you ever dated a Mexican dude? And I have experience in doing that. I'm not ashamed, nor am I proud of it, but I have experience. And so I've had over the years, I had a lot of Black women who have never dated out of their race. We've had conversations about it. And I've shared stories, or ones who they've shared stories with me. And it's kind of like a hush, hush, you know, don't talk about this in public outside of this room, you know? So that's why I put it in a book. The thing that people are interested in the most is I've categorized white men in three categories and black women in three categories when it comes to dating. So I have the first category of white men is the flavored white man. And the flavored white man um, is the white man where he was raised around black people, where he knows our music, our culture. He's white, but there's nothing you have to do to catch him up on things. He already knows. It's not a teaching experience. Then we have the standard white man, which is most white men, where they can date a black woman or a non-white woman, and they'll say some racist things. They'll make the black woman their exception. Um, and those are mostly the standard white men that I can't be black. I mean, I can't be racist because I have a black girlfriend, even though they said the most racist things. I have stories of that in my book. Then you have the humanitarian, the ones where I hate the phrase "can't see color." They're more like the hippie kind, the kind where it's like they just want world peace and things of that sort. So those are three categories black women can choose from when they're dating white men. Then the three categories of black women is the open black woman. She's open to date any race. And then we have the steadfast black woman. She only dates black men, period. Then we have the exclusive black woman. She only dates non-black men. And all of these women, I have interviewed all of these type of black women, and they all give me the reasons why they choose to date how they choose. And then one more important part of my book, I did not want to not talk to black men. I wanted to find out, what do black men think when they see a black woman with a white man? So I interviewed black men, and I'm just like, be honest with me. What do you think? And I have black men say, oh, I don't really care. I don't care. I said, okay, you don't care. But what I heard the most is the black men care on how the black woman looks. Meaning if she's a very pretty black woman, it does something to them. They don't like it. If she's a not so pretty, okay looking black woman, they don't really care. They're like, oh, take her. So that's kind of what little parts of my book.
So the first part in regards to this man is non-black, but he makes it acts black. I think that the term they call that is wiggers.
You can say that, yeah.
That's pretty good breakdown. And the other thing with the categories of black women, I think what you point, that's on point in regards the categories of the black woman. If black men don't know, they now know, and they don't really categorize themselves, but you could tell by just observing, from what they read it, they tell themselves, like literally, they tell on themselves.
Yeah.
And one thing that caught my attention in regards to certain black men, that they will actually care if it's the real cute looking black woman. That, to some black men, it will matter. Personally, you get me? You hear all the time, a lot of them don't really care about certain celebrity women that date out. Example, what's the name? The woman from Precious.
Okay, the bigger woman. I don't know what her name is.
I forgot her name too. Her, I think some men don't really care about Serena. Who else? Eve. I don't think much people really talk about Eve for a reason. I don't know. They don't really care much about Eve. And I'm trying to remember who else. There's very few women I think one time, I can't say Halle Berry, because Halle Berry is a person of herself, and she's going for her own problems personally.
Well, she said her ex-husband she pays alimony to called her the N-word. So
yeah. So what category you probably label her? Because I think you said what she'll fall under.
I think she's open. Well, I don't know her personally, because that last husband who called her the N-word that she's paying a whole bunch of money to might change her views on dating outside of her race. I don't know, but it looked like she's open.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, I think she's. Well, think about how it is part white, part black. So at times, if she was only marrying and having non-black babies from that side of the community, I mean, it makes sense. I don't know why people get so offended. People that are biracial, that they could bounce around between either black or white, or they might gear more to white my answer to that is, what do you expect? She's going to discontinue the other side of her that makes her or makes him. I don't understand that, Minnie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I expect people that come from a mixed background that if they're not flocking more to the so-called majority of this country, I mean, I'd be laughing. Personally, regardless if they still view and look at them as N-words, they still have that part in them where they have to feel they need acceptance. So they're going to still flock to any person. Hey, look at Doja Cat. Her father's black and her mother's, I think, white Jewish. She messed around with racist non-black men. She was in blogs, certain what they call it, sites where they express their vitriol towards black people, even including her. And she stays around and takes the abuse because in her mind, she thinks she's them, but she's not, because she is partially them. It goes back to that one drop rule, that it was created for a purpose, because not only to keep the wealth in their community, but to barricade and what do you call it? Create a what do you call it? A caste between us and them. Another caste system. So a lot of people right in the chat. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm ignoring y'all chat room. It's starting to move a little bit fast. I'll go through it. It'd be better if y'all donate if you can. I will go through some of the chat rooms, but like I said, I'm having the conversation. So I have people up here, 2 people. So I'm gonna move one in time, or probably both. But let's see if Hustle and Mustard, you have a question, sir, to this conversation, or to my guest.
First of all, what's up, Chaos?
What's good, man?
Hello.
Nothing. How y'all doing?
Very well.
Talk up close up to the mic because it sounds like an echo. Talk up close, please.
I'm in a restroom, so.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, that video about the girl who was disappointed by the Cheesecake Factory. Oh my God. I've seen that video myself, and I'm thinking like, okay, what's wrong with a damn Cheesecake Factory? Seriously. It's like the entitlement is just not mind-boggling. She has the nerve to say, well, I'm not going to a Cheesecake Factory looking like that. When just by the outfit she's wearing, maybe that's for the better, because you don't want to be seen in a place like that, looking too revealing, And she felt like she was just too good to go to a Cheesecake Factory. The entitlement is just mind-boggling. They want expensive restaurants on the first date, not knowing if it's going to go anywhere. So you want a man that's just going to flaunt his wealth by taking you to expensive places just to show that he's not a broke, dusty ninja, instead of trying to get to know you and see if you can build something and grow with a man. Is that the kind of world we're living in now?
Basically.
Is that what we're living in now? It's seriously, it's ridiculous. Now I understand not all women, not all females think like that, because I had a homegirl, a man, saying that she would never, that if she's not romantically attracted to a man, she does not need this guy taking her to expensive restaurant, because she knows it's not going to drift off into romantic territory. That's something you do when it's trying to go into romance territory, but she didn't want that out of the men that she's dealing with, because she's not trying to be in a relationship. So even she feel like expensive restaurants on the first date is doing too damn much. Keep things simple. A chain restaurant, just so y'all can kick it and have fun, maybe lead to some bedroom fun. Keep it simple. But this chick is just being entitled to where she deserves the best, even though she didn't give that man her best. You saw how disrespectful she was. So clearly she ain't giving him her best. That's my only take on it. Bullshit.
Yeah, and watch language, sir, if we can. I mean, I don't mind the custom, but we're going
I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. And for those that come up, if y'all can watch your language, it'd be better. Yeah, Hustle. That's one of the issues where a few women that they're entitled. So in their mind, that because they come out dressed what they want, act the way they do, that a man should just give them the world for the first encounter. And not only black men, but non-black men should follow suit. And a lot of women, if you notice, Mimi, they think and believe that non-black men are better. So if they date them, they're going to get more of the world than black men. I don't know if you agree or disagree with this. And as you know, that video, as we see with the cheese, that should be a wake-up call to a lot of women that if they're either dating out or thinking dating out, don't expect these men to really lavish you like that.
Well, I have my own personal experience.
Yeah.
So I could just talk from my experience. Again, I love my black men. I do. I've had, when it comes to like the restaurants and then the nice, like doing really nice things for me. I've had non-black men do a lot of nice things for me, and they didn't ask me for anything in return. Or if the relationship did dissolve, it wasn't like they didn't throw it in my face, But I've had black men treat me good also. I've had both of them, but for me, it's kind of like it was a little easier. It was kind of like I don't ask anyway, but it was a little different. It's kind of like I kind of feel like sometimes with black men, I feel like I'm expendable. Like there might be some more women that are waiting
Okay.
if I don't, if,
Okay.
versus when I've dated non-black men, they were just so happy to get a date from me. They went all out and continued to keep me around. Does that make any sense?
Okay. 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 All
Yeah.
right.
Sort
I
of,
mean,
kind of.
no. Oh. Okay. Okay. That's what experience. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Anything else, Hustler? I got another person I want to bring up.
Oh no, I'm just agreeing with the sort of, kind of. I mean,
Okay.
that's the. I mean, that's the thing. You don't want to. I've always been told keep my options open, especially if y'all
Mhm.
not having crossover into relationship territory. So I don't have a problem with people having other options. If you're just one of many women that he's taken out, then it is what it is. But are you the best one that he's taken out? Is it gonna be it's gonna lead to a relationship later on down the line? Possibly, if you stick around long enough. Ain't nothing wrong with you having other options. And
Yeah.
besides, it's not like as a woman you don't have other men taking you out doing the same stuff. So why not let the man have the same freedom and honor?
Mhm. But yeah, I
That's
agree
just
with you. I don't mind that, but I've run into situations where a man wants me to just date him while it's obvious that he's dating other women. I've run into that problem.
okay. That's just sleazy. He better make up his damn man. Ain't nothing wrong with you having options. Here's the thing. Ain't nothing wrong with you with a man having other women that he can choose from. But if you're talking about y'all in a relationship together, he needs to just choose you and cut them other women off. Same thing with you. Cut them other men off.
Yeah.
Don't be exploring. All bets are off when it comes down to the relationship and
Yeah.
commitment aspect. You got to choose that one person and one person only. Some people don't want to do that, unfortunately. They want to still have options while being in a relationship. And I
Yeah.
see that more so with women than I do me. I see it on both ends. I think women are more prone to it because
Hmm.
they want to get paid just to be single, kind of like that. If that
Yeah.
makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Hustler. All right. Respect your intake. Thank you, brother. I'll probably lower you down.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Take care.
All right, cool. Before I bring Lee up, the call line is open, guys. Come in, ask your questions now. Let me see, make sure it's in the place one more time for those who want to give it a take or ask any question by Minnie Alexanders. All right. Oh, make sure you like the stream, share the stream, donate to the channel, and please become a member of the Chaos Rain Show. Next person I bring up, Lena. How you doing?
Hi.
Hello. Hi. Hi. Chaos. Hi, Minnie. How you
Hi.
guys doing?
Doing well.
Um, that's good. You said something that was interesting that I was wondering about.
Hmm.
When you were naming the categories for men, you were saying that the average white guy, that they come off, are you saying that they come off racist? Like they made something racist? Do you think they do that intentionally? Like that's really who they are, or they don't know? Like they may have said something and offended them accidentally.
I would say both. I believe that a lot of, especially if the white men who have lived a very sheltered life and only really hung out with other white people, and then all of a sudden they're going to venture out and date a non-white woman. They say things and they feel like they have a ticket to say it because they're with the woman. I can give you a quick example. I'm not going to take up too much time with the story. I was dating a man from Europe, Eastern Europe. Um, and I love reggae. I love Jamaica. And so we were listening to reggae one day, and he turns to me and says, "The only thing that Jamaicans do is smoke weed and F word, have sex." And I was absolutely offended because I love the island. I love it. I love the people. So how dare you're talking about people the same color as me that's the only thing they do. And I went in on him. and he was trying to like backtrack. I have a lot of those stories. Like, in my book, I have those stories where they try to backtrack because they thought that they're hanging out with me. That's cool to say. No, it's not cool to say. And that's honestly why a lot of those relationships, no matter how well they treated me financially or any other way, I had to let it go, because I'm not going to sit up here and be your exception and you're talking about my people.
And then I didn't hear you mention in any of the three, do you think there's a white guy that fetishizes? Like
The standard white guy. Yeah.
the white guy is the one that would fetishize.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. And I wonder, in all your dating your dating experience, who do you think was the best to date?
Out of those three categories,
Mm-hmm.
flavored. If I have a black woman or a non-black woman ask me which one should they date, the flavored, because again, he knows, he's been around black people in the black culture. You know, that's to me, that's the best. And again, you might run across some that's who they are. Like, they don't switch up around black people. I mean, around white people. They talk how they talk. They walk the way they walk. They listen to the music they listen to unapologetically. But then you might have some that are fakers, where if they get around other white people, you thought they were flavor, now they're talking like, like Brad. So you just got to do your interviewing process and watch them.
Gotcha. And then, do you think, what's your opinion on divestors? I'm not a divestor, but I'm just
Oh
curious.
yeah, I forgot to ask that question. Thank you for bringing it up, Lena.
Because me personally, I think divestors.
Oh, wait, Lena, before you answer, let me answer that question. What's your take on divestors, from your own perspective?
I've heard that before. Can you please just give me a definition real quick, so I know I'm answering it right?
I've only known two types of divestors. One are divestors who divest from the black community, period. Like,
Okay.
it's not just dating. They get out of what they call blackistan. No black man ever out the black community, period. Then I've seen divestors who will only date, non-black. It's only a dating thing for them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had a lady I interviewed in my book that only dates white men, and I asked her why, and she was sexually hurt by black men, and as she got older, she just was done with them. And again, we're being honest here. A lot of the hurt and a lot of trauma I've had when it comes to dating have been from black men, but I'm still here. So some women handle it different. The black men who do it, I mean, black women might get on my head for saying this. I believe a lot of black women, because of how they act, we kind of are pushing them towards there, and especially with the society, how they glorified white women, and black men couldn't touch white women for so long. Now they have this they can. Those, my only problem with that is the ones that talk bad about the black women. And you can usually tell, because when you're around their white girlfriend or wife, they kind of have this attitude towards you as if you're underneath dog poo. Because I've actually had that opportunity to talk. I mean, I talk. I don't really bite my tongue. I've asked white women who date with black men, and just by their attitude around me, I tell them, I said, that black man talk bad about black women, doesn't he? And they're like, yes. I said, I could tell. I could tell by her attitude. So I love to ask people, non-black people who love to date black people, that if they, and this is going to be a really harsh statement, if they start, and I know I'm trying to figure my words out, if they start hurting us tomorrow, black people, if they start hurting black people like they used to do, would that white woman or that white man be hurt next to us? I've asked, and that's a very hard question. I've asked men, white men
That's
I've
actually
dated,
a logical question.
yeah,
That's
would
actually
you
a
hurt
logical
next to us, or would you kind of go in the crowd and blend and walk away if you see me hanging from somewhere? And I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not going to go any further with that. Yeah, would you? Would you?
My thing is, like, with divestors, like it depends, like the real extremists.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really feel like uncomfortable around them myself. Like I consider myself a swirl. I'm equal opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
If I find a man, as long as I find someone I love, the color shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
And it's been so long since I dated like a white dude. Like I was in my 20s or something, like college days.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel that the divestors, they sound like white supremacy, like some of their talking points. I was
Basically.
like, do you hear yourself? Like you really just don't like black people.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like when I'm around the divestors and stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't you think this neighborhood is crazy, or black people this and that? And they'll talk about black people. I'm like, this isn't the preference of dating. You're really like degrading and talking about black people like you're really racist. You're a racist black person towards black people. And so
Yeah. It's
that's why I
sad.
was that's why I was like trying to get your opinion on it, because I know different type of black women and how they date, and I was just seeing how did you come across black women who like only date, and for that reason I feel like they're trying to escape blackness or something. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, a lot of them have been hurt. A lot of them been hurt, and they can't get over that hurt, so they just throw all the blackness away. And again, it can be from family. Um, they've been hurt, and so that, yeah.
And hey,
Okay.
D-Roll, I'll drop down.
Oh,
So
wait.
D-Roll.
Any other questions,
Hey,
Lena?
hey, how you doing?
No, no, that's it. I'll drop down so
Yeah, 'cause,
D-Roll can have the floor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank
yeah,
you.
Lena, I learned a lot from you now, Lena. I might ask you some questions next time. So keep it. Bye, Lena.
Bye.
All right, and I have my other good friend, Mr. D. Durrell, life coach. What's good, D. Durrell?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. I just got your. I was actually doing some things, and then I saw you said you told me to
Yeah.
call in, so I was like, okay, because I've been, man. It's been an interesting night in the sector, man. You got a lot of people doing some interviews, a lot of crazy stuff has been going on, So I've been kind of flipping channels and things within the sector. So how are you doing, Miss Minnie? Is that the correct way to pronounce your name?
Yes, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Great, great, great. So, you know, I would like to know, as far as first question was, in looking at your book, can I purchase that book off of Amazon, or do you have like a website or something that I have to go to?
Amazon. So
Okay,
if you just type in A White Man's Whore, and you can even put Minnie Alexander, it'll pop up.
okay.
Yeah.
So, a couple of questions, because I'm definitely going to check it out, and I'm on this kick right now. I'm kind of reading a bunch of books for people that are online and in the space, and I'm going to be doing some reviews in the next few weeks on a lot of different books. So I've just several books that I'm interested in. It sounds like a pretty interesting book, and I probably may do a review, and it's kind of review of things to see how it goes and see just kind of my personal opinion. I typically do this every now and then as far as reading books, but my first question is in regards to the influence of, as what I would say, the glorification of interracial dating as it relates to um, movie stars, athletes, and things of that sort, as far as what you see on TV, as far as an influence on interracial dating, or people choosing um, to date outside their race. Because when I am looking at, there are commercials right now where you don't see black families on commercials, on a lot of commercials. You're going to see a situation a lot of times, and not all the time, but this is stuff that I didn't see 10, 15, 20 years ago, but you're
Mhm.
starting to see now a black woman with a white man with a, or dating in a family, or so to speak, with white children per se. Or you may see a black man with a white woman with white children, or something, like in Clorox commercial, or you're seeing everything but an authentic black family and things of that sort. So I just wanted to get your opinion of as far as the effects of commercials and kind of the commercial programming that goes on with choosing, as far as with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, historically, Black people, Black couples have been under attack for a long time. When we, you know, yeah, I'm going all the way back to slavery. We came out of
Right.
slavery and we felt that we were getting it right. When we were building our wealth and our cities and keeping to ourselves. Of course, you know what happened there. Things got burnt down. Then we had to try to do it again. Then the crack happened. Then a whole bunch of other stuff has happened. So I feel like we've always been under attack when it comes to the relationships between Black men and Black women, because I feel like if we actually could get our footing and get some things right, we would change the world. And I think that's what a lot of people, they know that. They think that they know us better than we know ourselves. They study us. They know if a Black man and a Black woman get together and you have these generations of this, we will change the whole world. And they don't like that because it doesn't benefit them. So we are under attack. And that is basically what you're seeing. And you're seeing that um, the interracial things. Again, love is love. Love is love. If you meet, don't get me wrong, if somebody meets someone that doesn't look like them and they have whatever it is inside of them that says, go do this, and they are happy and they have peace, do your thing. But I believe that there's things put in this system that attack other people. And that's one of the things.
Okay. So next question.
Mhm.
And the previous person, she kind of talked about, I guess, the divestment communities and so forth, and the rhetoric that they that as far as the talking points and things of that sort. Are you familiar with SYSBM and the Passport Brothers?
I know what a passport brother is.
Okay. Well, to me, the SYSBM, which is Save Yourself Black Men, they have a they're very, very similar. They're basically the male side of the divestment community per se.
Okay. I know.
They've been
Okay.
around a long time.
Hmm.
They actually were partnered with the uh Passport Brothers years ago, like back in maybe 2020, maybe 2019. But for some reason, I think the Passport Brothers kind of, I don't know if they separate themselves from them, but they actually have gotten more uh media play per se, or they became more popular, I guess.
Hmm.
And when you listen to guys that are SYSBM, their rhetoric sounds a lot like the divestment community um from a male perspective. And a lot of them, even though the only difference is SYSBM pretty much, they're not against traveling abroad, but they typically are dating, non-black women. And just as in the conversation earlier, we were speaking as far as they talk very negative. They're like a group that, kind of like the manosphere itself, but they talk very negative about black women,
Hmm.
although they have white wives, Asian wives, Hispanic, Latin wives, and so forth. So I was just curious if your take on them, or I would suggest, just kind of checking them out. If you choose to, but they have very similar rhetoric, um, and they create content kind of similar to the divestment community.
Well, I've ran across those men in real life. I travel a lot, and I've ran across those men. For me, it's like I don't know how those men treat women, but I know the ones that I have met in real life that are the Passport Brothers, they don't treat women very well. And they know that the women out here, just say American women, not even I'm talking about Black women. Well, um, they know that if you treat American women a certain way, we have ways to leave.
Right.
But if you go overseas and get a woman from overseas and brings them here, or you go live in their country, you're the big Black superhero with American money, and you're able to do more foul things and get away with it.
Right. And also with that, there's a bit of financial abuse
Yep.
and exploitation and control, which in listening to their rhetoric, you kind of hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of them do lead with their money per se.
Mm-hmm.
But particularly, I mean, I don't know the level of guy that you may have met in real life, but particularly the guys, it's been exposed. A lot of these guys that go there, particularly that are on YouTube and have content, do content creation, they're really not as successful as they may have people to think that they are. And part of the reason why they go to other countries is because their dollar can stretch a lot further. So
Mm-hmm.
that it's kind of an inflated sense of of uh of economics that they can use across seas that they could not do in the States.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of these guys have been exposed for not even and I don't know if you heard of Charles Tyler, because he's like the pioneer of of Passport Brothers, and he went to Brazil 10-15 times a year, but he died broke with having to need a GoFundMe to bury himself.
Wow.
And
And
this is
those girls
fact.
are skillful too. Those girls know how to get American men's money. They love seeing you guys come. I've seen it.
Yes, so he
Well,
basically, and I could not and I think, I don't know, Chaos, Charles died about what, maybe 3-4 years ago? Chaos Ring?
I have no idea. I don't follow everybody. So
Okay.
if you talk about Charles Tyler, I don't.
Yeah.
Is he a man that wrote a book about it? Is he a man that went to Brazil? Is this the guy
Yeah,
you're
the
talking
guy
about?
that
Who's
went to,
this?
yeah, he went to Brazil. He went to Brazil all the time.
Okay, so he probably wrote the book back in the early mid 2000s. Maybe that's.
But he basically died broke, and he didn't even have enough money to he could not, and you would think with all of the videos that he did in Brazil, he was the person that really made it popular as far as the traveling to, as far as online content, and he died broke. They basically had to create a GoFundMe account to pay for his funeral expenses.
because a lot of those women out there, they're not going to date an American man unless you're giving them money, and they know how the dollar translates. So a lot of those women out there, and again, I've seen it, and I've heard of stories. You're not going to just give them $20 and come back
No.
home.
Oh,
They're going to
no.
be calling you every other day. Their mom needs this, their dad needs this, and yeah, $100 goes a longer way there, but add that up over a period of time, and a lot of those women, they already have men over there. These American men just don't know it.
Exactly.
You
And
know.
so, and this is what I've seen, because I know people who.
Hey, Deidre, someone
Yeah.
wrote here and
Okay.
asked a question.
Okay.
Deidre being a coward again, laughing out. He won't jump on a panel with the actual Passport Bros.
That is not true. And Prime know that I have been on several panels with SYSBM and Passport Brothers for years. Stop it. I just don't do it anymore because I'm tired of going over the same repetitive talking points over and over. I've done that. I've how many more arguments do I have to get in, with the same outcome? So it's pointless at this point.
And what else?
But
hold on.
But what I was going to
go ahead. Come up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So what I was going to say was that a lot of these guys are not financially as well off as they are presenting themselves. Even the guy Austin Hollerman basically was living off of YouTube. He didn't have a job. He's basically traveling, living off of YouTube.
Now, Deidre, I'm gonna pause you right there because I know the more focus is on her in the book. I don't mind you talking about the traveling people, but it's not really emphasis.
Okay. Okay. I was just saying it because it's kind of related to interracial.
Because normally I'm not for sure I was gonna get across that question.
Okay.
But yeah, what were Mimi's views on it? That's her views, including yourself. I think who else wrote in here? What this? Oh, Black Guru said, Strike said, this is a stream about a book about how to be a white man's whore, but this dude has turned this into a Black misandry stream. Okay.
Okay, well, I apologize. I'll pivot back to the topic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But go ahead. Any other questions?
No, I'm good.
Guys, you guys could come up and ask Mimi a question. Don't be scared now and be in the chat room. If you put it in the super chat, better. But it'd be better, if you have questions, he's here to answer all the questions for those that either got the book or are curious about the book. Go ahead, Deidre.
No, I'm good. I'm good on questions.
All right,
Thank
good.
you.
I just
All
had a couple of questions. I just kind of went to the, because I thought you probably were familiar with those groups, with at least that particular group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Deidre. All right. I always ask the right questions, so I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah. Thank you, Deidre.
And if you don't mind, if I just give my little self a shout out. So tomorrow night on my channel, we're gonna go over the topic at 7:00 about what can Black women do to improve the relationships between Black men. And I have my host over there and everything. And it's an open panel, so come on
Okay.
and support and give your opinions.
Question: Your host, who's your host? Is that
Queen,
familiar?
the lover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna put everything in the description of this video
Okay.
for those to follow you. All right. Any other questions, Deidre?
I think that's pretty much it. I just had a couple of questions about that.
Okay.
I didn't want to be too long-winded.
All right. Thank you, Deidre.
All right, man. I'm gonna drop down.
Appreciate it. My last few questions. While I give people. Oh wait, someone wrote Burl Hammer T salute. Okay. All right. Mimi, have you been married before? That's
Yes.
one of the questions that was written. Oh, okay. How long you been married?
No, I'm not right now. I was for a few years.
Oh, okay.
It didn't end horribly. It actually it ended very civilly, with civil. Excuse me. Yeah. Wonderful experience.
Oh, okay. There was a child brought forth. I think you have a child that you said earlier in the stream.
Yeah, no, that was not her father.
Okay, somebody else. Okay. And the child you have is like a boy or girl?
She's a girl.
Oh, okay. And is it from different race of men or Black men in general?
No, her dad is Black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. But it's funny. I never asked parents, like I said, because you have dated different groups and different races of men. How do your child view or see you with let's say a different race of men?
Well, for
From her, I'm not sure how old she is, so I'm not sure she could conceptualize. So that's why I kind of asked.
Yeah. So for me, as a mother, I'm very protective. So I don't have anybody meet my child. I mean, they have to almost have a ring, engagement ring on my finger before I bring anybody around my child. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Okay, good. Yeah, you gotta be very protective to certain things, especially if it's another race of man. Not saying they. Well, I ain't gonna go there. That you can't ever be too sure nowadays, because if you categorize 3 different types of non-Black men, obviously we all know. And not saying it will happen in our community, but you're never too certain with them, because they have certain liberties, and so it's very hard to tag if they do something to us on the average, because they're the majority and we're the minority up here, that they get away with a lot of things that is proven evident if you can prove it. You get me? So you always got to be extra precautious, especially have children, that you don't want, God's sake, he does something to your daughter and then you might have to do some things.
Exactly.
Not saying I advocate violence, but I was saying there has to be an example be set. And I think a lot of Black people not setting no consequence when their children are being actually hurt in a way. And I think the society promotes and dims down the notion that people should take really revenge in regards if their child was really violated. I get it, but you have to, because you have to set the example. If you look at what the climate way is now, because we have the weirdo community, which is the LGBT, and now we see the pervs, the pets, coming alongside, and they're having things put in place, either by law and stuff, slowly but surely. And the reason why they do and move the way they do, because they feel that they are protected and they're far above approach, especially if you're, let's say, a single mother or you have 2 parents, They think it's a green light to say, I could do this, and then see what you're going to do. You get me? Like they're testing people with children,
Yeah. Single moms are magnets to men like that, because they come in with help. They come in with, with all these things to help the situation out, and the mom doesn't realize they're looking at your child. That actually happened to my sister with her stepfather and my half brother with the same man. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you and God forbid nothing happened to you in that way, because usually if you go through some trauma,
Mm-hmm.
it would make sense. A lot of, let's say, a woman, like you said earlier, will be turned off by whoever traumatized you. And I think it should go across all boats. And let's say a non-black man puts like a violation to a black woman. It's very rare that they will sit to say, I'm not going to date them, mess them, or whatever. They'll still go into it. But if a black man do it, depending on how the violation and how they go about it, they say, I'm just cutting off all black men because of this. And I said, it should go both ways, because if this is a non-black man did this to you, I mean, and you still give him a pass where you just continue, that tells me your violation was not to a point where you had to discontinue that people altogether, in my opinion. I think that's a condition. That's something that most of our people are conditioned to look at these people as gods and saviors. So that's why they'll give a pass to a lot of non-black people. And I say no. All right, I got one other person come up. Black Guru, what's good, brother? Any questions?
Hi.
Hey, how you do, Chaos?
I'm good.
Hi, Minnie.
Hi.
Thanks for having me up, Chaos. I hope you and Minnie are doing well.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have a couple of. Glad to hear that. I have a couple questions for Minnie. There have been some recent studies that report. I think they're based primarily on studies of dating um, apps or social media, etc., that assert that all things being equal, um, essentially all groups of non white females, including black females, prefer or choose white males over their own peer groups of males of their group. Are you familiar at all with such studies and such assertions, Minnie?
I do have some statistics in my book and a study that was done by Dr. Brittany Sladen. That's in my book, and it talks somewhat about this. But go ahead. I would love to hear what else you have to say.
Well, I'm curious. I mean, do you find that to be true, either on a personal level or anecdotal level, that all things being equal, um, a significant percentage of black women would prefer uh, white mates even over black mates?
I can't say that. Again, I would have to see the numbers and then see where they're getting their data from. But there's two. I mean, there's two things. I've seen data that says the opposite of that. That black men more are more likely to marry a non-black woman than black women are. And then I could just go to my personal circle. I mean, I've been black my whole life. I've had tons of black friends, female family members, and it's not very popular. That's what made me write my book. A lot of black women,
Black,
go ahead.
but black men dating out more. I mean, still the majority of black men who marry, for example, or date tend to choose black mates essentially, although
Yeah.
black men are proportionately more likely to date out than black women, although that's a function of who's doing the asking out. I mean, that's a tough comparison because the role of a man in pursuing a date or interest in a woman is not the same as that of a woman being pursued by a man. So that's not exactly an equal comparison.
Yeah.
So again, I guess the question from a lot of I would say particularly younger black men perspective, and that is, very often this thing of interracial relations is often sort of pivoted in a direction of black men pursuing non black women, particularly white women.
But see, that's what I would
If
ask
you
too. That's what I would ask too, brother.
Wait, Shatter. Let Black Root finish. Probably I'm gonna let you speak.
Well, I'm saying that there's a level of I don't know if we're fully being honest and open about what's really going on. Very often, women can have relationships
Mm-hmm.
with men of assorted types
Mm-hmm.
that aren't necessarily publicly shared and or
Yeah.
publicly uh, presented.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a great deal of focus on black men being particularly with white women, but there isn't quite that same level of focus and interest and scrutiny,
Yeah.
frankly. There isn't as much scrutiny of, for example, Serena Williams being married to a white man than that what would be the same level of scrutiny of a comparable black male celebrity or whatever with a white one.
Yeah.
So there, go ahead.
Yeah. So
Would
just
you
real quick,
agree or yeah?
just really quick, because you originally asked me if black women find them more attractive. Is that what you originally asked me?
No,
Right.
I did. Hold on.
Okay.
Well, let
Oh,
Hello, Black Root. All right. Before you say anything, Black
let me.
Root, go ahead. What are you about to say? Yeah. You break on Black Root. Hold on. Before I move the mic, I'm trying to find this thing. I just see something here. Matter of fact, screw it. I'll find it later. To Robbie,
Well,
a new member.
I,
Welcome,
well,
Robbie, to the Chaos Rain channel. I don't know if it's the stage 1 or 6 stage. Welcome to become a member of my channel. You might be breaking up, Black Guru, because you're speaking and it's pausing.
yeah. You hear me now?
I
Or
hear you good now. I hear you better
am I?
now. You're going to have to say the whole
Okay.
sentence over. Okay, you're
Well,
paused.
no. Well, I want to clarify. I mean, I'm not making the assertion that or asking the question of whether or not.
Okay. Okay. All right.
okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Anything else, Black Guru?
Yeah. I mean, the other question I guess I would have is, what do you think, or think about yourself sort of personally? You said you have dated different groups of men, obviously. You know, looking back or in hindsight, what what do you think of that in terms of your experience, the value of that experience,
Hmm.
and what should a black man who is considering dating you seriously, how should he view that experience?
Wow. I like your questions. So I look at it. Like I said, I don't feel ashamed, nor am I proud of the men, the non-black, all the non-black men that I have dated. I mean, I think it's made me have more of a rounded woman, black woman. Being able to have those experiences and being able to share it with you guys, being able to share with black women, the experiences that I've had with the different cultures, the different races, men from other countries. Um, it just made me a more round person. Now, the second question you asked me about what does a black man have to do in order to date me? Um, I feel like I have, I'm gonna put this. My dream is that I know a lot of black men have never had. We talked about this earlier. Have never had an environment where they can come, their home environment where they can come and they could rest and they could be respected. And I would love to give that opportunity to a black man by us being together. Um, but when I have tried this in the past, I've had it where, again, I was not getting anything back. Like when you're thirsty, like when you need some water and you're thirsty, it's like I was thirsty in those relationships and I was giving so much. So I would love to have a black man who analyzes himself, self-reflects, and be gentle with me and I be gentle with him. And we set our goals. We talk. We're honest. I pride myself in being a woman. I feel like is very different. I've had men I've dated tell me some things, honest truth of things that's happened in their life with other women, and I took it, and I didn't get crazy. You know, they're being honest, and I appreciate that. So I want to make an environment of him to be honest with me, where they don't have to stress about anything. So I'm looking for a Black man that is ready for that, you know, and not for me to be his footstool, because I run across these men talk about masculinity, masculinity, masculinity. Like a lot of those Black men that say masculinity, you got to submit to me. They don't ever tell me what they're going to do for me. I could tell them all the things I could do for them. They never tell me anything they could do for me. Very selfish, very insecure. Want to put me in a, you know, chain me up so nobody else can, you know, see me. I mean, I've been in those situations. So I need a Black man who's confident. And when he's not confident, say it to me, and have some kind of balance. And don't look at me as property. Look at me as a helper. There you go.
All right, Black Guru, I got moved the
Yeah,
my
thank,
go ahead.
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to thank you for your time, and take care. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Thank you, Black Guru. That's the Ella from Chicago. All right,
Yep.
Shad. What's on your mind, Shad? Any questions? And I see you, Wrench, in the building.
Yeah, nah, man, I was just peeping in on the conversation, man. Appreciate you letting me have up, man. Hey, to the guests, I was just want to ask, what I've seen, and I'm just trying to see what you've seen, and you can tell me about it, because you know, for as you writing the book and everything, you should know a lot about it. In your opinion, do you see more just on a sample basis, just day-to-day basis? Do you see more Black women dating out with the other interracial relationships based on the Black men or the same data set? Do you see any variation between that, for as more Black women, or is it more Black men? What do you see with your data?
I think it's a lot of different factors. So I live in Northern California. I live in the suburbs. So up here where I live, I see way more Black men with others, non-Black women. But now when I visit Atlanta or I visit Houston, I see something totally different. It's rare. It was, you know, to see a Black man with another woman, even though they're still there. I have seen, from my observation, an increase in Black women publicly dating non-Black men. And then we can go to social media and TV, but those are controlled. We see a lot of them there, but I do, again, I think it's the area you're in.
Yeah, I could agree with that. That's definitely a big factor. That's a variable you got to plug it in. In Houston, I could definitely speak on that, because over here I see a lot of. Houston is a big interracial city. Like, it's this area, it's city immigrants, right? You know, Arabian, you know, Chinese, all diaspora, the Asians, you know, Africans, the islands. You got a little bit of everybody there. So it's pretty mixed up. Of course, you got the South American, the Mexican, the El Salvadorian, you know, you name it. You got a mix of everybody. So we pretty mixed mostly, but in terms of what I'm speaking on is like directly Black women dating strictly white men versus Black men dating strictly white women. Where is the thin line? And I say the thin line on that, from what I've seen, just based on my data with the sampling that I've seen, and I move around, so I see a lot of different type. You know, I go to the high wealth area, I go to the, you know what I'm saying, the low wealth area. Now, typically, if you see a brother with a white woman in a low wealth area, let's just say that for political correctness, right? You could probably say that white woman is not, let's just say, above board for his money. Her family that probably gave up on her because she just want to be out here in the hood with these niggas, you know what I'm saying? But you see a Black man in a well-to-do area or a big, and he got a chick or whatever. So, you know, it don't have to be, oh, she getting all the money out the Black man. She could have some bread and putting that money on him. But when we see most of the time with where I'm from, you see a black woman with a white man, you will see her in all those situations. From, you know what I'm saying, Beverly Hills to Compton. You'll see, and the white boy, you know what I'm saying, she gonna bring him around the hood too. You're like, man, what's she doing with that white boy? Oh shit, we know what she doing. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then all the way around. So I see the whole, you know what I'm saying, thing. And I'm like, I mostly see that, you know what I'm saying? I see brothers with diaspora of the different, you know, brown, we got different Filipino, I see Blackanese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Blackanese, whatever, you know, all different Mexican, Blackskins, you know, all the different types, you know what I'm saying? But you mostly see black women where I'm at, when you see them, they with that white man that's got either some big money or he like, you know what I'm saying, you'll be surprised. You'd be like, damn, you know, oh, damn, she got a white boy. You're like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, well, shit, that's cool. I mean, I guess we 2023, but, you know, I just like, damn, you couldn't find a brother? Like, you know, you prime meat right now. You know what I'm saying? You prime steak on the plate of a nigga, you know what I'm saying? You gonna give it to the white boy? And now you can say you call me unpolitically correct, but I'm just saying I see more of that than I see brothers that's just going and pick a white chick off the muscle, off the wham. You know what I'm saying? To be they just A1 day one. I don't just see a lot of that. You know, you see a couple brothers that just like white chicks. Some niggas just want a white chick. I see that. You know what I'm saying?
Look at the NFL. I mean, I don't know any numbers, so I don't know statistically how many of the black players are with non-black women, but there's a lot. I mean, it's like they're popping up. Even like Jamie Foxx and a whole bunch of other like black famous people, they are choosing non-black women over and over and over again. And it's in front of our face, and young black men see this. So without even telling them anything, if they're looking at these football players and basketball players and actors, what do you think they're going to choose?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I would
you're right.
say don't choose Jada Pinkett. Please, just whatever you do, don't choose Jada Pinkett.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Shatter. Yeah. All right, Shatter. Let's move along. I got Wrench Turner. What's good, Wrench? How you doing, brother?
What's good with it, bro? How you doing?
I'm good. You know, I got two people from Texas down the panel. You know, Blois. I mean, let you know these guys from down south. You know,
yes, indeed. Shout out to the land. Shout out to the people on the panel. Shout out to the folks in the chat. Won't take too long, but I wanted to bring up something that the sister said. She said that her experiences with other races of men is something that she wanted to share with the brothers and the sisters in the space. And what I would say is that those experiences are not something that productive men appreciate. It's not something that we value. We don't value a sister who has dated other races of men. There's not anything, we can't do anything with that information except know, okay, well, she's dated outside of the race. The other thing that I would say as well is when we talk about the celebrities who date outside of their race, still at an alarming rate when you look at the stats. Most black men marry black women. Interracial dating has been around since the dawn of time, whether you're talking about Harry Belafonte, whether you're talking about Damon John, whether you're talking about Byron Allen, you know, the list goes on. And these are our elders and ancestors who've interracially dated. But even through that, the majority of your average, everyday run-of-the-mill folks are married within the race. So the fact that NFL players or actors or notable people dating interracially, that doesn't directly correlate to what's happening on the ground. The last part that I would say, and I see the conversation that's happening down in the chat, the last thing I would say is, yes, there are incels in the space. Yes, there are brothers who have not figured it out. Yes, there are highly productive brothers. At the end of the day, this space was really created to at least be a think tank and give those brothers a voice to be able to put what it is that they're thinking, what it is that they're feeling out into the atmosphere, and for the ones who have figured it out to help them course correct and get to where it is that they're trying to go. Kevin used to say it all the time, we'll build it as we fly. this is the conversations that happen in these spaces, and you have a lot of different conversations that go on. The conversations that I try to be a part of outside of the comedy, the conversation that I try to be a part of is, hey, I'm a brother who comes from the same environments as you. I've figured it out through doing everything wrong, all of the mistakes that you brothers have made that you're beating yourself up about. I figured out a way out of it, and this is how I've done it. And if you want to get in contact with me behind the scenes, this is how you do it. At the end of the day, I think for most of the brothers, no matter which side of the aisle you land on, the idea is to try to help. Now, you do have some that are in the space for a YouTube check, and more power to them. But I'm talking about where the real work happens. My actual life, the content that I put out, this is stuff that through my lived experience, I live this shit. So I feel a particular kind of way whenever I see the conversation saying, oh, it's incels, or oh, these brothers really ain't got it together like they say they do. Okay, cool. A lot of other races don't have it together like they should, but they have the space and the opportunity to be able to put it out there in order for the productive men of those groups to be able to help them course correct. And most of the time, these conversations happen void of women, because just like anything else, as we know, naturally, when you bring women into the conversation, it tends to get a little bit more complicated, because there's always going to be that upper rung of brothers who have access to them and the lower rung of brothers who don't have access to them. And a lot of times their egos get crushed, their psyche gets messed up. And what ends up happening is you start to have situations like we've had over the last couple of years, where brothers go out into society and exact extreme violence on innocent people. That's the part of this that gets missed. So I say all of that to say that to the sister, respectfully, even though your experiences are what you want to share in the space to other brothers and sisters, the brothers, the productive men on this side, we don't see any value in that, because it doesn't move the needle forward as far as getting men to be more productive, so that there is a better product out in the market if they decide to date sisters, or if they decide to go abroad and live their lives as expats, or if they decide to go back into the community to do good. Whatever they decide to do, that particular experience does not move that ball forward. I'll land my plane there.
Okay. So this particular, I understand what this particular topic does not move what he just said forward. I mean, I have a whole bunch of different topics I could talk about. So if you have your own channel, if you would like to invite me on your channel for other topics that can move forward, that can make people think about that particular topic, I would absolutely come. Like I said, tomorrow night on my channel, we're talking about how can Black women improve their relationships with Black men. That's very important. And we're not going to be talking about my book about white men and interracial dating. We're not talking about that. We're going to be focused on us.
Yeah, sure. And like I said, and like I said, a lot of times it's easy to get up on the panel and scream back and forth. That's not my particular get down. I don't participate in that shit. But I at least wanted to put that out there so that, not only the brothers that are in the chat that could actually hear me, I know a lot of them may be feeling the same thing and may not have the ability to call in or the confidence to call in and articulate it. But I, at least for the sake of this conversation that's happening right now, just because I heard you say it, I at least wanted to be able to say, hey, something kind of went off, not only in my head, but I'm pretty sure a lot of folks who may hear the conversation may say, hey, that's not something of value to us. Now, the difference between me and those guys, I can articulate it without screaming, cursing, hollering, arguing back and forth. But for a lot of them who are not there yet, what I'm trying to do is demonstrate to them, hey, you are going to hear things that you don't agree with in our space, right? But this is how you address it. You don't have to get on a panel and be a jackass and make an ass out of yourself and whatever else may happen in other spaces. But I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, much respect. I understand.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Wrench Turner. And I know I let you slip with a few cuss words in here, but I'll try to keep it clean tonight.
My fault, bro.
You know how it is. But I appreciate info. You see, I like about you, very calm and collective, and you're going to express it as simple as a child can understand, which I
exactly.
That's what I like about you. All right, but thank you for coming up, Wrench Turner.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Yep. All right, Shatter. I'm gonna lower you down. Come on, wrap this up. That's cool, you, Shatter.
Right on, man. Appreciate you having me up, man. Hey, look, I like this content, man. Hey, I appreciate the whole panel, man, the chat. Hey, it's an interesting read. I think I could go and take a look at it. My man say he don't want to hear it. I'm with him too, but like I say, I want to know these things. There's certain things out here in this world I don't know nothing about. I ain't got to agree with everything, but you know, sometimes somebody else's content might give you something. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, what wise man once told me. He said, man, you can know 99% of everything I'm finna tell you right now. But it's 1% I'm finna get ready to tell you that you ain't even know. But if you never let me tell you, then shit, you'll be like the rest of the suckers. So shit, hey, I'm gonna come check out your panel. Hey, I appreciate you coming up on Chaos Channel, mama. And I'm gonna come through, I'm gonna subscribe and come check you out.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. That's what's up. Thanks, Shadow. Appreciate it. All right. All right. And wrapping up and concluding all this. One thing, that book, is it in only physical copy or PDF form?
It's PDF, and also on Amazon, I believe you can get it on like your tablet.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, if you have the I think subscription, you could read it for free on subscription on Amazon tablet. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. See the book right there, guys? Hold it good. Upward. Yeah. I wonder if that's you in the picture or that's some other woman that you used as a graphic.
What do you think?
You gotta stand up for me. I listen, the dress is very pink, so I cannot make a rationale. And I would tell because one fan knows if there's tattoos. Things will give out if there's any markings. That don't have any tattoos.
Okay, so I'll tell you guys a secret. It's me. But I didn't take the photo with the idea of putting it on my book. It was a photo I took when I was with my girlfriend. Her hip is right there. I asked her, I got permission to see if I could put her on her hip on the book. She said fine. So I'm like, hey, just go ahead and put this on my book. So yes, it's me. Oh,
okay. That's what. Okay. Well, that's that. You said a precedent. Yeah. Like I said, the cover of any book is the most essential part of selling a book. If it doesn't gravitate to anybody, most likely the chance of people buy it very less. So you have the titles on point, but also pictures speak and pull out 1,000 images like word. Yes. So yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Any last closing remarks or anything for the people that are gonna tune into this?
Well, I have to say thank you to you. Thank you so much for reaching out to me and having me on the show. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Thank you to all your guests that came up here and shared their comments and asked me questions. I just say, everybody just be open-minded, and single people out there, especially single black women or single people, period. Just be light. Be light. Don't be so quick to throw people away. Work on yourself first. Self-love, self-care. And don't search for someone. Just sit back and let it happen.
Yeah, that's good words of thought for people that will go back and listen to this. And you know what? I might bring you back again soon. Any other books you're gonna write, or are you just gonna wait for a little bit to see any other real good information before you decide to go and really deep down writing a book from your perspective?
I'm thinking about some things, but I don't like talking about it unless I'm really passionate into it. Yeah, but now I have to say my host on my show, my co-host, she's actually a professional matchmaker. She actually gets paid for that. So if you have anything about more relationships or anything, she's wonderful. And all that. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're in the West Coast, I'm in the East Coast. So if you are doing any streams tomorrow, you email me and you let me know the actual time, and I have to calculate what time on my side. I will pop up depending on the time, as the time I did this stream, it might be around that time. I might jump early depending when you do it. So, just keep your fingers crossed. I might just pop up. You never know. You get me?
Thank you.
All right. Do me a favor. Just sit tight. I'm gonna talk to you. All right. Okay. Thank you guys. This is Minnie Alexander. And I thank everybody for listening to today's stream. The replay game is gonna be very interesting on this one. As you know, I'm not the first man to interview for those that's going to listen to this or got far to this point. Now won't be the last either. But the book is very intriguing. It's saying a lot. But For those that are avid readers, it's a good read to see what's really in the mind of the author, and what ways and tricks for those ladies that want to do it, what to expect. That's it. The links to follow me are the following. You can follow me on Twitter at Chaos27. As me a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. Also, join my Discord service as well. I pinned all of it in the description of this video, and it's in the chat room as well. Oh, also please join my Rumble page. The Rumble's also pinned in the description and in the chat room as well. And also I'm also on Spotify, Anchor, some old shows and all that stuff, and some of the shows are also on here on the channel as well. And I like everybody that was participating in today's chat room. I couldn't read all of it, as y'all know. When you do these interviews, sometimes I'll get to it, but like I said, y'all keep it lively, with your interaction. So I appreciate it. I think that's pretty much it, everybody. Make sure to join and become a member of the Chaos Rain Show. Got a new member today. Hope for those that if you like some of the content, become a member. I got some videos that's gonna be for members only. And please subscribe to the Chaos Rain Show as well. Make sure you hit the top bell, notification bell for uploads and live streams and shorts now here on the Chaos Rain channel. Also, leave a comment. I read comments. So what's your thought and opinions of it? I get it wrong. What question you think I didn't ask or whatever? I look forward to hearing it in the comment section as well. Yes, and for Urban Reed, thank you. Props to you for Chaos for having the comment. Yes. So, for those that had questions about this book, you know where to find it. Chaos Rain Show, like always. Catch a replay of this. All right. All right, guys. That's it. Until next time, let it chaos rain.